Alright. Let's make sure we're going live. Alright, looks like we are in the proper channels. Always a good thing. We have liveness. I think as per the tradition, whenever I go live, someone yells live. Which is always a good indicator that I am actually live and not just imagining it on my end. So... yeah. Hopefully that's true. But yeah, I should do something about that. Settings. How do I turn off? Okay. I think that might be it. Anyway, hopefully we're still alive and well. Yeah, no problems. No problem, Shade. Okay, fair. Anyway, it's okay, Shade. Last week we just finished Amina After Scenario, and this week we're gonna do Yuuji's Past. I'm looking forward to this one. This one, the Cocoon of Caprice. Yuuji's Past. It's 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Monday Night Livestream with your host, animefanrk2k. Always here forevermore. Because I love me some Grisaia, and we're gonna get into some real stuff here. So, with that said, we are doing Yuuji's Past, the Cocoon of Caprice, the Labyrinth of Grisaia Grand Route.
国籍不明船に次ぐこちらは日本海上保安庁汽船は日本の領海を侵犯して航行している直ちに武装を解除し停船せよ
Alright, we're starting off pretty strong.
Alright,
the Japanese police already don't want us here. Good start. July 2012. A Japan Coast Guard patrol vessel discovered a small ship of unknown origin in the waters near Yonaguni, westernmost of the Yaeyama Islands. The ship ignored 3 warnings to cut its engine and managed to shake off the Coast Guard vessel after a 2-hour chase. Attempt to pursue using the patrol boat's onboard helicopter was discontinued by order of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs for fear of provoking neighboring nations, ending any hope of interception. Photographs and video of the incident taken in a private capacity by a Coast Guard officer on the patrol boat. Immediately passed from a PC with a satellite connection to the 1st Division Ichikaya's Central Intelligence and Research Department. Oh, this is a guy that showed up at the very end of the anime. Alright, so it's gonna be... So this is, that was a tie-in to Labyrinth. Yo, Devil Dog, you need Nekos? Yo, I don't know when Nekos will start up, but Volume 3 of Nekopara, expected after I finish Labyrinth. And I'm gonna, a hot drop of my next Monday Night Livestream right there for you. Unless Nirvana comes out before then, but I have that pre-ordered too. There were 5 people on that small unidentified vessel. The images were of poor quality, having been taken with the camera of an outdated cellular phone. But a thorough analysis established with 51% certainty that one of those 5 individuals was Heath Oslo. Heath Oslo. The name itself is an alias. His real name and place of birth are unknown, estimated age early 40s. Previously a mercenary with the French Foreign Legion, was discharged on suspicion of having stabbed a superior officer to death with a knife. Oh, hello, Ocelot. Really? This is your Ocelot? After fleeing to Switzerland, he proceeded to make his way from battleground to battleground, resurfacing in Afghanistan and Yugoslavia. At present, numerous countries regard him as a war profiteer and terrorist involved in the active provocation of conflict. Although he is believed to have multiple cover identities, Oslo currently presents himself to the world as a strategic advisor to a next-generation weapon development project funded jointly by several defense technology enterprises. Well, King, you shouldn't tell me that, because if that potentially is, it could potentially spoil things if you make the connections right now. At the time of this incident, there was no positive proof. Granted, they just told me what he does. So, yeah, it does sound like Liquid Ocelot from the Metal Gear series. At the time of this incident, there was no positive proof that the man photographed by the Coast Guard officer was in fact Heath Oslo. Previous assassination of an individual misidentified as Heath Oslo has saddled the Japanese government some 4 billion yen in indemnities. Neither Ichikaya nor Akasaka were eager to repeat that mistake. So long as Oslo's identity could not be confirmed beyond the shadow of a doubt, they refused to authorize even an approach with small arms, much less a forcible attempt to physically capture the ship. You don't know Ocelot? He's from Metal Gear Solid. It is revealed that he is very much into war profiteering. And Metal Gear Solid 4, like, opening scene basically has Old Snake talking about the fact that war is essentially just a money-making thing for war companies. That's all. Which I think may have been an ongoing theme. I'm not entirely sure. I've only played one Metal Gear Solid game. It was Metal Gear Solid 4. Tokyo's orders emphasized the possibility that this was a demonstration by nationalist activists from a neighboring country. In strict compliance with the Geneva Convention, they confined the Coast Guard to a conservative plan, pursue where possible and prevent any attempt to land. But while this passive approach carried the day, some speculate that Oslo's appearance might be connected to a rumored top-secret program for the development of the high-reliability alternative nuclear warheads. Warheads. America, which optimistically assumed Japan's nuclear allergy was a thing of the past, was slow to take appropriate measures. The Japanese Ministry of Foreign Affairs, which avoided anything troublesome like the plague, and hated bowing its head unless it was absolutely necessary. As a result of two ostensible allies attempting to resolve everything without alerting each other, a single terrorist was allowed to remain at large. Oh. So he is someone of note.
やめろサメマン。一般人を巻き込むような戦い方はやめるんだ。
Meanwhile, Maguroman!
甘いなマグロマン。人間など守ってどうする。人間がお前に何をしてくれた。
Oh no. Samaman, no.
対テロ戦争という名の内戦が続いたこの国で生物兵器として生み出され、戦争が終われば化け物扱いだ。そんなお前がなぜ人間の味方をする。
Are they playing like Samaman's theme?
人間など命の母である海を汚し地球を腐らせるだけの存在だ。それがなぜわからない。
Sounds like something Squidward will say.
違う。断じて違う。人間はそれだけの存在じゃない。人間には愛がある。清らかな海水のごとく透き通った愛がある。お前こそなぜそれに気がつかないんだ、サメマン。
So after a serious bit about Heath Oslo, we have to watch some Maguroman.
それは俺がサメだからだ。
What?
このわからずやめ。言ってわからないのならトロでも食らえ。トロトロトロ。気仙沼カット。なに。トロが打ち消されただと。
Oh no! Oh no!
次はこちらの攻撃だ。食らえ。ダブル気仙沼カット。
ダブル気仙沼カット。 Oh no! Sachi's super turned on.
マグロマン
Weird to say Machina, but highly accurate. Sachi's like, I'm gonna cheer for the bad guy.
ほらサッチンもはーはー言ってないでマグロマンを応援するのよさ。サメマン素敵。頑張ってサメマン。
Well, there you go. The ultimate betrayal.
おい、サメマンを応援してどうすんのよさ。サメマンは敵なのよ。
Because Sachi likes sharks.
それはどうかな、マキちゃん。この番組改編期にテこ入れとして登場した謎の超人サメマン。果たしてサメマンは敵なのか味方なのか。
It's true, you know, if you introduce this big bad that like is instantly defeating the hero right away, in one of these like hero shows, he could be a future ally in disguise.
なんか愛とか分かりやすいキーワード出てるし、きっと戦いに傷ついたサメマンを人間の女の子が看病して愛に目覚める的な展開になるのは分かってるのよ。
Sachi's like, can I go audition for that role right now?
でも今は敵。頑張れマグロマン。サメマンなんかに負けちゃダメなのよ。
Fair.
気づいてサメマン、早く愛の尊さに気がついて。あなたはちょっと生きるのが不器用なだけなの。
This is a weird show and a weird audience.
もっと上手に生きて。サメだけに上手に生きて。
Jaws.
ちょっとうるさいわよ。私今勉強してるんだから静かにしなさいよね。
That makes too much sense. Michiru needs to study.
勉強？
なぜそんな無駄なことを？
Oh.
来週数学の追試があるのよ。っていうか無駄って言うな。頑張ってるよ。私頑張ってるよ。マグロとかサメよりも私を応援しなさいよ、あんたらも。
Oh no, Michiru just provoked the ire of Machina and Sachi, right?
それは自業自得でしょ。そんなあなたの勉強に付き合わされている私の身にもなってほしいわね。
Oh my god, Yumiko's teacher? The shark and jerk is still in my Sachi, how dare you? Well, King, you're not a shark, so you lose. Sorry, that's how it works.
何よ。あんた勉強教えてくれるって言ったくせにさっきからずっと本ばっかり読んで全然教えてくれないじゃない。
わからないところがあったら言いなさいって私言ったわよね。そうしたらあなたなんて答えたかしら？
大体全部わかりません。
そうね。次に私はじゃあどれがわかるのって聞いたわよね。それに対するあなたの返答は？
一つもわかりません。
Well, there you go, guys. Michiru's failing this test.
正直でよろしい。分かってもいないくせに分かっているふりをして時間を無駄にするよりはマシです。
But!
だから私は一つの公式を教えました。そしてそのページの問題はすべてその公式の応用で解けますと教えました。試しに一問解いてみせてあげました。
Shark-like teeth is not a shark. Yeah, you know, that's true. You know, Yumiko teaches you the formula you need to solve the full page and you can't apply it. Got problems.
その結果はどうなりましたか？
まだ一問も解けていませんが頑張っています。
And you know what? I bet it's not like 30 questions or something. I bet Michiru has like 5 questions she has to study. She has to solve.
何かを諦めたかのようなため息を漏らさないでください。松島は頑張ってますよ。どれ？どこがわかんねえのよ。
All of them. Did you not hear Machina? Come on.
だから全部三角関数とか。
Trigonometry is not too bad though.
それな。あんま難しく考えることないのよ。得意分野に置き換えて考えりゃいいのよさ。例えば狙撃な。
Well, that's only something that Machina and Yuuji would know right now.
は？例え 弾丸な。62グレインの弾頭で、初速は940メートル毎秒とするじゃんけ。
By the way, guys, I'm gonna probably preface this with saying that at this point, I bet Makita knows how to apply wind resistance to a bullet at long ranges to adjust her aims for that kind of shot in sniping.
初速かける秒かけるサインシータマイナス2分の1かける重力加速度が 9.8 メートル毎秒かける時間の事情。
Like I said.
地球の自転やら大気密度やダストなんかを無視した場合、よほどのロングレンジでなければ、これで大体の着弾点は出るでしょ。
Okay, never mind, man. Ignore wind resistance. We're gonna get a good enough shot.
出るでしょって言われても、私にはあんたが何言ってるのかちんぷんかんぷんだわよ。
この程度の計算、すぐに計算できないと狙撃兵にはなれないのよ。
Well.
いや、なる気ないし。つーかあんたさ、最近ユージの影響受けすぎよ。
Yo, this is Yuuji's past right here. It's in the present of Yuuji's timeline.
でも、そのおかげで数学で赤点取ったことないのよ。悪いことじゃなくね。
Oh, snap! Actually, that's kind of interesting. That Makina developed a interest in mathematics and started doing well in it because she had to actually start using it.
いやー、まあそうなんだけれども、なんか頭使いすぎて熱が出てきたかも。そんな時には糖分でしょ。焼きドーナツ作ってみたけど、ここらで休憩しておやつにしてみちゃどうかな。
ドーナツ！
いいね、ドーナツ。ちょうど小腹が空いてきたとこなのよさ。
I mean, you know, when they leave off on that cliffhanger with Sharkman.
では、私は飲み物をご用意しますね。マキちゃんはミルクでいいのかな？
ミルク。
おう、牛乳を希望するのよ。
榊さんはいつもの紅茶で、あまねさんは。
私も今日は紅茶がいいな。榊さんと同じのでお願い。
かしこまりました。
And Michiru, orange juice.
じゃあ私も紅茶で。
No.
あら、松島さんも食べるの？
何よ。食べちゃダメなの？
I mean, to be fair, like, I love my teas, so black tea is a good choice.
ダメとは言わないけれど、そうね。問題が1問解けたら1つ食べてもいいわよ。
Oh, snap!
そんな、芸をするたびに角砂糖をもらうサーカスのクマじゃあるまいし。だったらいいわよ。いらないわよ。
Well, at least Michiru knows her place. Here.
そんなに勉強するのが嫌なの？
ダメなのよ、ユミちゃん。芸を教えようと思ったら、まずは角砂糖の味を覚えさせてからなのよさ。
Makina's like, manipulator!
ほれ、チルチル。ドーナツなのよ。してみ。ほいさ！だろ？ほんじゃもう一口。はいさ！もう一丁！ほんじゃ！
わんこそばじゃないんだから、もう自分のペースで食べさせなさいよ。
Sorry, I had 3 donuts, guys.
どうかな？美味しい？そうね。何かちょっとモソモソしてるけど、すごく美味しいわ。
Did you not fry or bake them enough? Probably a framing device?
でしょ？材料費は一つたったの23円。原材料はなんとおから。
Okada? Wait, why did they put question marks there? I think that's a mistake.
おからってお豆腐の絞りかすの？
Yo, that's some vegan looking donuts then, right?
そういう言い方は良くないな。お おからは栄養満点、滋養強壮、疲労回復、脳の記憶力もアップ、食物繊維も豊富でダイエット効果も。まさにミラクル食材なのよ。
Yo, Amana could probably sell stuff on TV, like at one of those like home shopping networks, and you could buy this and it has all these benefits. And
本当に？
Michiru's already sold.
本当よ。おからにはレシチンが多く含まれていて、近年ではその効果に大きな注目を集めているわね。
Yumiko and Amana, guys, if the two of them tag teamed, they could probably sell you whatever they felt like, and you'd be like, all right, I'm buying that.
おからだのかぼちゃだのってアマ兄はどうしてもババ臭いものに着目すんのな。
You can't say that, Makina.
だから食べやすいようにドーナツにしたんじゃない。
Donuts.
低カロリーで高タンパク、補助甘味料としてかぼちゃとさつまいもを生地に練り込んであるし、無敵なおやつなんだよ。
Man, I would hate that donut, no gonna lie.
美味しいし何も問題はないわ。実際スオさんはすごいと思う。
I would be able to taste that pumpkin right away, but oh!
かぼちゃと大豆は若いうちから食べておいた方がいいってうちのお母さんが言ってたのよね。
Yo, I love soy and soy products though.
10年後、鏡の中の自分の顔に大きな差が出るんだって。
These girls are just a team of superheroes waiting to happen. Their own militia, probably.
おお、確かにアマ姉のママめっちゃ若いのよさ。普段から雑な食生活を送ってるユミちゃんは見習うべきなのよ。
It's okay, even Yumiko eventually starts eating better and looks good in her route.
余計なお世話よ。だからちゃんと食べてるじゃないの。
Donuts? I'm not sure. Even if they're healthy donuts, Yumiko, I don't think eating donuts counts as eating healthy.
皆さん、お茶が入りましたよ。そしてマキちゃんにはミルクね。
Where's Yuuji anyway?
おーいやー、冷たいミルクとドーナツ。これでもう負ける気がしねえな。
何と勝負してるのよあんたは。
Seriously.
まあとにかくいっぱいあるからさっちゃんも食べて。
はい、いただきます。
それにしてもいっぱい作ったわね。食べきれるの？チョコチップ入りだのドライフルーツ入りだのっていろいろ試してたらすごい量になっちゃったのよね。
Oh man, dried fruits and chocolate? Ooh, those might be
日持ちはするし、ユージが帰ってきたら食べるだろうし、全部食べちゃわなくてもいいわよ。
Yeah, where's Yuuji?
あ、ねえ、そういえばユージは？今日は朝から見かけないけど、あいつどこ行ったのよ。
Damn it, I'm on the level of Michiru.
お？なんだよ。ちょっと姿が見えないぐらいでもう寂しくなっちゃったのか？
Makina, while that is true, you shouldn't point that out.
別にそういう意味で聞いたんじゃないし。ただ、なんか美味しいものがあるのにユージいないからどこ行ったのかなって、そんだけだし勘違いしないでよね。
That was pretty soon.
落ち着いてください、みちる様。ぼっち慣れしている榊さんを少しは見習ってください。
Oh my goodness!
は？別にぼっち慣れとかしてないし、そもそもぼっちじゃないし。でしたら私の勘違いです。申し訳ありません。
Sachi is getting a little sharp tongue there, you know?
なぜかしら急に寂しくなってきたわ。
で、結局ユージはどこ行ったの？
Wait, Amana doesn't know what? I thought everyone but Michiru would know, but
今日は仕事で市ヶ谷に行くって言ってたのよ。迎えも来ないで自己出頭ってことは多分またなんかやらかして怒られてんじゃね？
Wait. They're gonna... Oh, that's right. They have the business card that says he works for Ichikaya. I forgot. What are these girls' stands? Probably all Yuuji.
風見さんのことです。きっと私たちの預かり知らぬところで風見さんにしかできない偉業を成しているに違いないと確信しております。
Like, imagine they're like the Planeteers, and the 5 of their powers combined, and they call Kazami Yuuji.
風見くん近々昇進のために社内試験を受けるって言ってたし、そのための予備査問じゃないかしら。
Oh.
そういやなんか最近 ずっと部屋にこもって私と遊んでくれないと思ってたら、そのための資料を作ってたのね。
Oh, Yuuji's still getting that promotion.
そういうこと。だから別に心配はいらないわよ、スオさん。
Amina's of course worried. What?
別に心配はしてないよ。ユージなら何があっても大丈夫だろうし。
Hopefully.
私は少し心配です。いえ、すごく心配です。心配すぎて気が変になりそうです。
What?
それはいくらなんでも大げさでしょう。
I mean, Sachi's like, but he's my childhood friend.
実はこの小峰幸、多忙を極める風見さんに、微力ながらも何か貢献できないものかと思い立ちまして。されど、インチキメイドたるこの小峰幸にできることなど、こもりきりで荒れたお部屋のお掃除ぐらいしか思いつかず。
I mean, you know, it's not like he's studying stuff that you can look at, Sachi. Yeah.
先ほど、風見さんのお部屋のお掃除をしていたのですが、ゴミ箱の中からとんでもないものを見つけてしまいました。どうしましょう。
Da 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 da.
何？ガビガビのパンツでも見つけたの？
いえ、これです。
Not 100% sure if that's true yet.
何それ？紙くずじゃんかさ。
これは裁断機にかけられた書類のくずです。そしてこの裁断くずを再現したのがこちらになります。
Oh, Sachi, that's some dangerous things you're doing. Uh-oh.
裁断機にかけられた書類を再現ってすごいのかバカなのか。
なに風見雄二の過去に関する自己報告書？
Uh-oh. Oh, that's his past?
それって勝手に見ちゃダメなやつじゃないの？
Yumiko probably wants to see that right now. For research purposes.
この小峰幸、うかつにも再生作業中にその大半に目を通してしまいました。
Uh-oh. Sachi's like, I read it all, guys. I read it all. I'm not gonna lie. I was tidying his room. I had permission. The garbage is garbage. I did what I wanted to do. And I reproduced all of it.
風見さんの壮絶な過去を盗み見てしまい、その自責に耐えきれず、共犯者を増やそうという魂胆です。
Oh! Yo, that's pretty good, Sachi. Yo, 10 out of 10. You get +2 for that.
一人はみんなのために、みんなは一人のために。とてもいい言葉ですね。
いや、それはダメでしょう。見ちゃダメでしょう。
Michiru's really honest.
皆さん興味がないようでしたら、再び裁断機にかけて焼却処分しますが、構いませんか？
If you put it like that, they're gonna start jumping.
いや、それはね
え。私の方を見て同意を求めないでくれる？
Yumiko's secret like, I'm gonna see him. I didn't say no.
そりゃユミコはユージのこといろいろ調べて知ってるかもしれないけど、考えてみれば私たちってユージの昔のことをほとんど知らされてないのよね。
I bet Yumiko's gonna say something like, don't say I didn't warn you, right?
私はお兄ちゃんからいろいろ聞いてるけど、詳しいことは聞いてないのよ。
That's true. Like, even in the routes, I think Amina knows quite a bit about Yuuji from Kazuki. Makina knows a good chunk about Yuuji from like her, like in the different routes. Like she would know from like her experience with Yuuji being like her teacher or mentor. Sachi knows a good chunk about Yuuji because they're childhood friends, and Yumiko probably did some research and hit some government roadblocks on the internet that she didn't want to get around. So yeah, Michiru is actually the only one that probably would know very little about his past, because even in her route in Fruit of Grisaia, like it's much more about Michiru and her mental conditions.
さて皆さん、どうしますか？
Meanwhile, blissfully ignorant of the conversation taking place in the Mihama Academy dormitory. I was sitting up in the Ichigaya mess hall, choking down an oily dressing-drenched salad, the expression of a man being force-fed raw sewage.
相変わらずまずそうに飯を食うやつだな、風見よ。
Hey, yo, Kuara, I don't know who you are, but I'm not gonna lie. If you had Amane or Sachi's home cooking, yeah, you'd eat this like it was a sewage as well. Kuara senpai, it's good to see you again. The man who called out to me was Kurara Ichiro, first lieutenant, also known as the Daimakarov connection. Back when I was training to become a contracted employee after finishing my stint as a foreign capital guest, he offered me some extraordinary support.
お前が本社にいるとは珍しいじゃないか。また何かやらかしたのか?
Yeah, it's actually like, yeah, just a different portion of Ichigaya, right? Look, interrogations aren't the only reason they call me in, you know?
冗談だ。お前、ついに昇進試験を受ける気になったらしいな。お前んとこのボス、なんて言った？あの金髪。
Major Haruda.
そうそう、その人だ。お前の過去の資料と効果表を出せと言われた。
Sorry for the hassle.
構わんさ。しかし、宋が一番気楽だと言っていたお前が昇進か。どんな心境の変化だ?
Oh, look. I guess this guy is a man of note. Guess I've gotten settled down enough to start thinking about the future. Something like that, at least.
昇進ついでに、うちの隊 S に戻ってくる気はないか?
I'm sorry, but...
まあいいさ。今の仕事に疲れたらいつでも俺のところへ来い。給料は安いし美人の上官もいないが、やりがいのある仕事は山ほどある。
Thank you. I'll be sure to keep the offer in mind.
お、達者でやれよ。
I'm well aware that I've turned into something of a coward. Maybe it's just a product of the spectacularly languid life I've been living lately. The way I've immersed myself in the routine of Mihama Academy like a deadbeat lounging in a lukewarm bath. Used to be, I didn't care too much where I lived or died. These days, I'm less comfortable with the idea of bleeding out in a ditch somewhere. Is that seriously all it takes to change a person's behavior to this extent? Is it really alright for me to keep going like this? I gave up on most of the things normal people take for granted. The devotion that resembled resignation, or maybe masochism, I anchored myself to the world's national defense. Someone who decided to throw everything away for the sake of a country doesn't really belong in a place like Mihama. It's just too peaceful. The longer I soak myself in it, the harder it gets to pull the trigger. He's growing attached to his fellow classmates, attached to Mihama. Same facility, a different floor. Office of Haruda Yuria, second chief in the school's in the second division of the Ministry of Defense's Central Intelligence and Research Department. By the time the cicadas were beginning to sing in earnest, there was no one except JB in the room. No sound from inside but the quiet clicking of her keyboard.
資料番号68329風見雄二における調査書及び効果表資料作成者春寺ゆりや
Raccoon! Harudera Raccoon!
Hey, yo, it's he can show emotions, yeah. Hey, look, it's our favorite stupid guy, Otsuka.
ちょっとノックもしないでいきなりドアを開けないでください。それと何ですかラクーンって人をアライグマみたいに呼ばないでください。
ああ、すまない。少し急いでいたもので。というか、一応私、本部長なんだが。
I'm the superior here, yeah, right.
知ってますよ。それで、何のご用件ですか
He got really scared.
いやいや、先日の話だけどね。
親父ですか先日の話で全てが通じると思わないでください。
あれだよ、ほら。風見雄二の昇進に関する資料の提出だよ、君。
ああ、その件ですか。現在詳細な資料を作成中です。
Yes, we're getting more Ichigaya's music. Yeah, pretty smooth. You know, not quite Valhalla levels of music, but the music's been really good at the Grisaia game so far.
君は時間をかけすぎだよ。
Yo, Otsuka, you don't. This director general guy doesn't understand, man. when you're in a position like JB's, you have to be the pencil pusher. You have to write the documents and reports, man. You know, he is in a position where he doesn't have to. All he has to do is answer to his superiors and then order his underlings to get the reports in for him. But JB's at that precarious stage.
そういう性格なのですから仕方がありません。それに彼女からの要求は可能な限り詳細にとのことですが。
Who's she anyway? Professor in the basement deemed the documents previously provided his examination of Yuuji's possible promotion as inadequate and demanded a new and more detailed inquiry. Oh! I'm not gonna think too much about it. She was already aware of the general, superficial outline contained in the personal records. Request was for more information that would flesh out the inner Kazami Yuuji in greater detail.
Kazami Yuuji の昇進に関して最終的な判断は彼女がするからね。彼女が欲しいと言うなら用意するしかないさ。
人事まで彼女が取り仕切るということですか？
I mean, if it's who I think it is, she might as well be, to some people they call her God. to one particularly well-endowed bitch and heat.
今、この国の防衛は事実上彼女が仕切っているんだよ。それは君も知っているだろう。そのためにも彼女に読ませる資料が必要になる。それこそ生い立ちから何まで全てをまとめた資料がね。
そのために今日は風見雄二本人を召喚してあります。この後本人の手による報告書を受け取り、それを元にした質疑を予定しています。同席されますか？
Oh man, Otsuka's gonna find out what Kazumi Yuji's past was?
いやー結構。私は彼に嫌われているからね。私はいない方が進行が滑らかになるだろう。君に任せるよ。
Okay, Otsuka understands. Yo, man, I like Otsuka now a little bit better. Now that he's basically become JB's bitch. I mean, he's a more understanding superior officer to Haruda Yuria. That's totally what I meant, guys.
そうですか。では速やかにご退出を。今風見雄二を呼びます。
Bloodless sass.
よろしく頼むよ。
I mean, it doesn't take much to put the pieces together. Like, I thought it was weird when they mentioned some professor that's like hidden from whatever.
一応嫌われているという自覚はあるのね。
Yeah, see, Otsuka, look at that character development from Otsuka. It's excellent character development. This is Kazumi.
お待たせ。私の部屋に来なさい。
Yeah, I'll be right there.
さてと、ユージが来るまでの間に事前資料に軽く目を通しておきますか。
Oh. Are we doing the full flashback now? Oh, we are. In the year that the first portable MD player in the world was put on the market, Kazumi Yuuji was born in a hospital in Atsuki, Kanagawa Prefecture, fourth member of a family that included his parents and an elder sister. His father, Kazumi Roji, was the second son of a farmer from Chiba. Yuuji's paternal grandparents had already passed away by the time of his birth. Roji was a man severely lacking in judgment. Years before, an acquaintance from his school days coaxed him into selling the land left to him by his father to finance the construction of a resort condominium, a greedy and foolish gamble. When the business failed, Roji was forced to sell off the newly built resort to recoup his enormous debts. For all intents and purposes, his old friend had swindled him out of the condo. By picking a bitter fight with his older brother over their father's inheritance, Roji was able to obtain a one-time settlement of 4.2 million yen in exchange for complete estrangement from his family. An art history major at university, he used this money as capital to open a small antique art shop, but in substance, he made his living as a middleman, arranging shady but technically legal contributions to corrupt politicians. In sum, it's easy to surmise that he was a petty man, cowardly but suffering from delusions of grandeur, arrogant to the weak and servile to the strong. Yuji's mother, Kazami Satoko, had, like her husband, lost her parents at a young age. After their death in an accident, Satoko was passed around between reluctant relatives before becoming fully independent at the age of 18. Although she enrolled in a vocational fashion school, the pressures of her tuition and living expenses forced her to work at night. It wasn't long before she found herself a dropout neck-deep in the entertaining trade. Satoko got to know Kazami Roji when a Yakuza and habitual customer brought him to her club. Eventually she became pregnant, quit her job as a hostess, and was entered into Roji's family register. Not only was she a weak-willed woman with a tendency to grow dependent on others, Satoko also had a difficult time trusting in their affection. On the whole, she was an unfortunate individual, perhaps even pitiable. Please refer to file number 2 for information concerning Roji and Satoko's first child, Kazami Kazuki. Kazami Yuuji was born 2 years after his sister. An outline of his earliest years follows. In comparison to Kazuki, who was regarded as a remarkable prodigy, Yuuji was born an ordinary child without any particular talents. He lived in the shadow of his sister and was neglected as a result. Sounds like Holly Joestar? Oh, trust me. Nah, this is pretty bad, man. Already, there's bad signs. Like, the father is not a good influence, it already sounds like. His parents were disappointed with such a mediocre follow-up to their genius firstborn. They frequently admonished their son to stay out of his sister's way. As a result of this negative family environment, Yuuji grew up carefully watching the expressions on his parents' faces, contributing to strong perception and observational skills. Refer to the attached report for further details on Kazami Yuuji. At a glance, it was a perfectly normal family. There was no religious influence on the household. Despite indirect connections to certain politicians, nothing suggests involvement in any ideologically radical factions. But at the time, Kazami Roji was concealing a debt of some 32 million yen from his family. This was mainly composed of liabilities from his earlier failures and a prior investment of enrolling his daughter in a famous private school. His repayment came to about 160,000 yen a month. Not an overwhelming amount, but a serious strain on income largely composed of the intermediary fees he earned facilitating political donations. This was the only obvious point of concern. File number 2, concerning Kazami Kazuki. Kazami Yuuji's elder sister, Kazami Kazuki, first showed a glimpse of her talents at the age of 4. Kazuki's father, officially working as an antique dealer, often took paintings and other works home for safekeeping, exposing her to a wide range of art from a young age. One day she sat down in front of a famous painting and began to reproduce it with pastels in her sketchbook. When her father glanced at that scribble, he was astonished by Kazuki's precociously vivid use of color. On a whim, he gave her oil painting materials to play with. At first, Kazuki simply messed around with the thick paint as if it were clay, but by the age of 6, she was beginning to produce work that could legitimately be called paintings. And at the age of 8, she won a special prize at the district hydrangea exhibit painting contest. This was the highest possible award, as age restrictions meant her entry was placed in the children's division. Realizing that Kazuki was uncommonly gifted, her parents had her tested and learned that her IQ was an astounding 180. Kazuki's stand would make her fully omniscient. At the age of 8, she had the IQ of a genius. Yeah, 180 is pretty high. Pretty high. Given that the test was calibrated to her age, this wasn't an impossible score by any means. It was far, far above the average. Her parents argued that Kazuki should skip grades to pursue more challenging lessons, but testimony suggests that Kazuki herself wanted to live as a normal child to the degree possible. Kazami Kazuki could do anything she put her mind to better than most. Still, she was particularly gifted as an artist. It's said that a painting she completed at the age of 10 was appraised in the millions of yen. Family of 4, blessed with a daughter who possessed rare talents. Kazuki over heaven, oh my goodness, there you go. Not such an unusual situation in and of itself. On a superficial level, this was still an ordinary family. Father spent his days eagerly counting unhatched chickens, interested only in sliding beads along the abacus in his head to count the profits his daughter would one day produce. Mother, the goose who thought her entire existence validated by one shining golden egg, convinced that her daughter's birth had finally secured her a stable place in the world. Aw, poor Satoko, man. And a walking inferiority complex of a son, ashamed by the thought of looking stupid next to his sister, no means of self-defense except to avoid her. That was Kazami Yuuji. Well, let's start.
Pardon
me. Kazami Yuuji reporting in.
座りなさい。コーヒーは？
I'll pass. Just had a cup downstairs.
そう。だったら早速本題に入らせてもらうわ。
He's like, plus, I didn't see Kiara here, so, you know, can't comment on her ass in front of you.
今日あなたから受け取った事前資料は読ませてもらったけど、今時手書きはないでしょ？パソコンぐらい使いなさいよ。
It's easier to dispose of paper. Shredded all the rough drafts with a cutting machine.
最近ではその楽さにつけ込む手段がブームなのよ。
Oh, you're saying Sachi reproduced all of it? No way.
今は裁断機にかけた書類を復元する機会もあるし、昔はそれこそ人力で復元したものよ。
I seriously doubt there's anyone bored enough to put that much effort into poking around my past. It's not like there's any real need for me to keep it secret, right?
まあ、あなたがそれで構わないならいいけど。寮に戻ったら、下書き原稿を全部焼却処分しなさい。
He's gonna go home and they're all gonna be there going, oh, your past was sad. Let's eat dinner together. Well, fine, we'll do. So what now? I think I included pretty much everything in the documents. Is there something more you want to know?
そうね。まずは、姉について、かしらね。
Oh. Is that really relevant to my promotion?
建前上は、あなたの姉の死因に不審点があるということ。本音は、あなたにとって姉がどんな存在であったか、ということが知りたいのよ。
Jojo Part 9, Fruit of Jojo? So even emotions toward family members are within the sphere of investigation.
そういうこと。
I mean, that makes sense. Thorough background checks are really, thorough. Fine, but it's really just like I said in the reports. As a kid, I went through a phase where I deliberately avoided my ridiculously talented big sister. When I failed, they said, and you call yourself Kasumi's brother? Whenever once in a while I succeeded, compliments were always something like just what I expect from Kasumi's brother. I mean, I definitely wasn't that talented, but I didn't feel like I was depressingly incompetent either. Guess you could say I was a pretty normal kid, just not in the same league as my genius sister. Being compared to Katsuki no matter what I did got very irritating after a while. It's probably only natural that I started avoiding her. This is a new song. Honestly, it was my only real way of protecting myself. A worthless baby brother. Scrap left over from a genius. When people taunted me with those words or whispered them behind my back, I never had a retort. Mainly because I was perfectly aware that was more or less true. We'll just get, some arrows. You know how it is.
あなたはいつもそうして黙ってしまうのね。辛い時は辛いって言っていいのよ。
Oh my god, Katsuki, I haven't heard your voice in so long. It's so weird seeing you alive. And not as a shadow at the end of the Amana After scenario. What the hell? I feel terrible, Ne-chan. I always look like an idiot when I'm next to you. Alright, I'm gonna... this is younger Yuuji. I shouldn't just read it in my normal Yuuji voice. I should be like, ah, Ne-chan! No, just kidding. Not like that. I think those words hurt Katsuki pretty deeply. Even so, she didn't hold it against me. She did her best to interact with me like any sister would.
ねえ、ユージ。キャッチボールしましょうか。
Catch what? One day, my sister called out to me with a slightly dingy pink rubber ball in her hand. She must have picked it up somewhere on a whim. Thinking back on it now, it's probably a considerate gesture on her part. Not even my own dad spent any time playing with me. Guess she was trying to fill that void. I was strongly left-handed back then. At first I deliberately tossed the ball with my right.
どうして左手を使わないの？
You're the one who told me to use my right arm more, Ne-chan.
それはお箸の話よ。ボールを投げるときは別に右でも左でも構わないわ。左で投げてごらんなさいな。
Also, yeah, it's also weird not to see her as a magical girl. Very true. Okay. Of course, I threw more strongly and accurately once I switched to my dominant arm. My sister rewarded me with gentle words of praise.
左の方が上手じゃない。
You think?
そうね。でも、右手でももっとうまく投げられるように練習しましょう。
Gotta become ambidextrous now. Why?
左手でなければできないことがあると不便でしょ？でも、お箸は右。
Okay, if you say so. I didn't know what meaning there was to any of that. But if Kazuki said so, I assumed it was just the way the world worked. When I did, I eventually learned to throw a ball skillfully with either hand. My sister complimented me again. It's not like I was looking to become a pro baseball player or anything, so sometimes I did wonder why she was so eager to praise me about that sort of thing. Still, I think she helped me see something of my own potential. If I did want to play baseball, with hard work it wouldn't be impossible.
楽しかったね。
Oh, look how cute it is. Also, she didn't grow a damn inch from childhood. Yo, don't say that, man. She probably grew like 2 inches. She looks a little bit younger in this picture, at least. Like, she probably grew like 3 centimeters or something. Come on. Yeah.
いっぱいいっぱい楽しかったね。
Hehe. I thought I was completely worthless, but my sister complimented me. I couldn't beat her at anything at all, but she still praised me.
負けるのが嫌だから試さないなんて可能性がもったいないわよ。何でも試してどんどん失敗すればいいのよ。あなたは子供なのだから。
See, Kazuki says this because she can't fail at anything. Okay. Don't give up before you try. But of course, Kazuki was an exception to her own rules. No matter what she picked up, in no time at all she'd be producing respectable results. That's why they called her a genius after all.
それでも諦めることはないわ。あなたは私と違って時間がかかるというだけでやってやれないことなんてないのよ。
Aww. It's good advice. Really?
ええ。大切なのは諦めないこと。諦めの悪いことがいつかきっとあなたの武器になる。
And Kazuki, you're right. He is one stubborn, dense individual as an adult. Or as a older than he is now.
どんなに困難な状況にあっても、周りの人間がすべて諦めて絶望していたとしても、あなただけはそれでもと立ち上がれる男でいなさい。
Aww. Kazuki was that kind of person to a lot of people too. To like Amane, to Yuuji himself. I don't really get it.
難しすぎたかしら。そうね。要は、簡単に諦めてはダメということよ。いい？努力家というのは一つの才能なの。わかった？
Yeah. Aww. My sister taught me how to paint as well. I wasn't any good right off the bat, of course. Still, I managed to create a few crudely charming landscapes of the sort you'd expect from a child, earning more praise from Kazuki. People were always calling me stupid, but my sister taught me that even an idiot like me can manage a few modest successes with enough effort. I remember Kazuki picking out one of my childish paintings and deliberately hanging it right next to one of her own on the wall. Cut it out. It's embarrassing.
私はこの絵が好きよ。何も恥ずかしいことなんてないわ。
Hearing that made me happy. I even started thinking I might have a little talent as an artist myself. Then my parents said, "Fuck you," and I was sad. But one day, when a well-known artist was supposed to come look at my sister's work, I listened through the door as my father told her to take down that embarrassing eyesore on her wall.
わざわざ大杉先生がお前の絵を見に来てくださるというのに、こんな子供の落書きを並べておいたら恥さらしじゃないか。
Fuck you, guy!
私が好きで飾っている絵を侮辱しないで。
The moment I realized that they were arguing about my painting, I opened the door to Kazuki's studio, taking the landscape from the wall, I ripped it to pieces and left without a word.
なんだユージ、当てつけるつもりか。
My father's angry shouts were a familiar part of my everyday life. That didn't particularly bother me. Still, the sorrowful look on my sister's face as she gathered up the scraps of my painting made my heart ache with regret.
ごめんね、ユージ。
I ignored my sister's apology by pretending to sleep. Family was a defective structure balanced precariously on a foundation of sand. And the one pillar keeping the whole thing upright wasn't my father. Our sad excuse for a breadwinner was my big sister. Aww. Aww. Kazuki had made a name for herself in the fine art world as a promising prodigy. Once she reached 12 years of age, that talent began to show signs of waning. Her normal pace of 3 paintings a month fell to a single canvas every 3 months. And even the ones she finished lacked the delicate touches which had lent her earlier work the power to enthrall. My parents declared it was nothing more than a temporary slump. Their expectations for Kazuki didn't fade. Oh, you know what it is? It's probably because you're not nurturing this fucking household! Stupid, dumb dad? Roji? Still, it was clear that many in the art world were beginning to question if the golden egg was already losing its luster. It's not uncommon to hear of prodigies who end up being perfectly ordinary people after 20. This dramatically premature decline soon began to unsettle our parents. The father, for whom Kazuki's slump was a grave crisis, eventually began to interrogate her about it.
なぜ書けなくなった？以前は書けていたのに。
My sister's answer to that question was very simple. She got bored, right?
以前かけていたのは私が子供だったからよ。
Oh. Almost too simple. Father interpreted it as a claim that Kazuki's aesthetic sense or talent had deteriorated with age. Oh no, it's more like she's not a tool. And she's too smart, so she kind of like, you know, I don't like this. But in reality, my sister has simply learned how to hold back. There you go, right? There you go. The childish, hard work she once poured into everything was pointless, even counterproductive. Trying too hard only increased the number of people who envied her, so now she was deliberately giving mediocrity a try. Yup. When we were alone, Kazuki explained all this to me quite frankly.
何でもできる子だと思われても鬱陶しいじゃない。たまには苦手なものもあるってところを見せてあげないと、さすがに気持ち悪がられるもの。
It's okay, you're gonna meet this girl with glasses, Kazuki, and she's gonna think you're a god. Just having the title of child genius bestowed on you is enough to push your peers away. Her big sister never put that much importance on connecting with others as a child. Over the last few years, her thinking seemed to have changed significantly. Specifically, she was now trying to become something like a normal person. I was doing homework after school one evening when Kazuki came home, carrying a massive stack of manga in her arms.
学校で流行っているみたいだから、クラスの子に頼んで借りてきたのよ。
My big sister was starting to dabble in anything and everything. Even then, I knew most adults thought manga was just brain-rotting trash. And it's popular at school probably wasn't going to fly as an excuse for her reading it.
読み終わったらあなたにも貸してあげる。読みなさい。
Only if it's good, Kazuki. But they'll get mad at me if I read manga. My parents had never bought me any comic magazines. There had been an incident before when we dropped by a bookstore after going out to dinner as a family. While my father browsed through the art section, I wandered over to the manga aisle and started reading where I stood. Eventually, Mom came along and asked if I wanted the book. I thoughtlessly answered, yeah. My father vehemently objected. He said reading that garbage would turn me into an idiot. He'll definitely yell at me again.
そんなのは子供の頃に漫画を読まなかったバカな大人の言い分でしかないわ。いい？ユージ。漫画を読めば漫画が好きな子と共通の話題ができる。それってとても重要なことなのよ。
Is that how it works? I mean, I read a lot of manga as a kid and comic books and stuff and a lot of books and kids are like, I don't know how to read. I'm like, what kind of idiot doesn't know how to read at 7 years old, 6 years old? How the hell did he get to the first grade? And then I realized that some of my peers were not up to snuff. I was like, oh, okay. This is how my friends who know how to read. Got it.
もしかしたらその漫画好きの子と友達になることで今までになかった世界が見えてくる可能性もあるじゃない？
Of course, you know, that ended with like, you know, the rules of adulthood getting in the way and my friend had to move because their family moved and then I had no friends. The end. Wait, what? Wait, what? I'm kidding, guys.
同じ趣味を通じて知り合った友達って
あなたが思っている以上に大切なの。
Yeah, I know, right? Like, you should go out there, go to a playground, make friends with a pink-haired girl. You know, kind of tomboy.
この子とは10年後も友達でいるだろうなって人間を探すのに、漫画とかゲームって意外と便利なツールだし、大人が考えるほど無駄じゃない。
I mean, I play video games now. Look, I'm playing one right here.
それに、そういう縁でつながった人脈ほど深い関係が続くものよ。
That's true, because you guys are like, hey, we like the same things, cool. It's not like my entire adult life depended on me reading JoJo. You know what's very funny? I didn't read it as a kid. I read a JoJo as an adult.
私、1年生の頃同じクラスだったこと、クラスが変わった今でも未だに仲がいいもの。
Oh. Are friends really that important?
重要ね。天才が一人で世界を回そうなんて思っていたら、それこそ痛い目に遭うわよ。
Oh, there you go.
大人になってから人脈の大切さに気がついても遅いし、大人になっても気づけない人は、いざという時に周りに誰もいないことに気がついて絶望するわ。
Oh.
自分の価値観でしか物のありがたみを理解できない大人が一番くだらないと思わない？うちのお父さんを見てごらんなさいな。あなたはあんな大人になりたい？
Kazuki's like, yo, our father, trash. I don't know.
あなたにはまだちょっと早すぎたかしら。
Kazuki's like, repeat after me. Kazami Roji is a piece of shit. What?
まあいいわ。私の話はおしまい。宿題が終わったのなら、外でお友達と遊んできなさいな。
I don't really have any friends though.
なら、作る努力から始めなさい。
Go to the playground. Okay. Having learned to handicap herself in pursuit of normality, Kazuki managed to cancel her parents' plans to have her study abroad at a Parisian art school, and settle into a more comfortable life as a semi-prodigy. Still, Kazuki continued producing enough art to keep our father's creditors paid. Before even reaching middle school, she was a primary meal ticket keeping our family financially stable. Well, there you go. Yeah, I know that's not going to bite them in the ass, right? By that point, there was no longer anyone in the house capable of opposing my sister. Even for our parents, Kazuki's word was law. Treat her with a respect that wasn't far from worship. Look! The religion of Kazuki has already taken hold in this household, and will just continue to spread. Or, anyway. But strong sunlight creates deep shadows, and it's probably fair to say that I was a neglected child. Parents and sister frequently ate outside of the house on business. It wasn't uncommon for them to stay out until late at night. I always was left behind to watch the house by myself. Whenever this happened, my dinner would be a sweet roll or two from the stash my mother kept in the cupboard for me. Aww. Aww, the mother tried. You know, actually, I wonder if he's gonna realize her or not. No, I just met this random girl with pink hair, you know. Called her Sachan. She was kind of tomboyish. She had like a strong personality, hated to lose. Just like this maid that at my school. Complete coincidence. That also has pink hair. Whoa, what a small world. Guess pink-haired characters do exist in anime. Ha ha ha. Anyway, one day, once I slipped her mind, and she didn't leave me anything in the usual place. The only thing I could find there was a half-eaten loaf of bread. It was old and hard and didn't look like it had gotten moldy yet. I checked the fridge, we were out of milk as well. I didn't see much other choice, so I poured some tap water into a cup, bit off a hunk of bread, and then washed it down with the water. I don't remember feeling sorry for myself at the time. As long as it filled my belly, I didn't really care. Still, it was tough to get that rock-hard bread down my throat. At this point, a clever idea occurred to me. Held the bread on the faucet and soaked it with water, waiting until it was thoroughly soggy to take another bite. It worked even better than I hoped. Once it was nice and soft, the bread seemed to taste much better. Taking a second slice of bread from the bag, I watered it down from the tap for a while, took another big bite, and in that moment, Kazuki stepped through the front door. She saw me eating my water bread in front of the kitchen sink, face contorted with shock.
Yuuji, あなた何を食べているの?
Oh shoot. It's just bread. Oh no. Was I not supposed to eat this? I didn't ask first. They might get mad at me. So I took the bread from my mouth and studied my feet. Sister shouted, "It's like a prisoner's meal!" in a voice full of agitation.
ほら、見なさい、ユージ。冷蔵庫の中にいくらでも食べ物があるじゃない。
But nobody said it was okay for me to eat that stuff. They'd yell at me if I just took some without permission.
怒られないわよ。もしそんなことであなたが怒られたのなら、私があの人たちを怒るわ。
Oh man. My sister squeezed her eyes shut and turned her face toward the ceiling, voice quavering with emotion.
なんということ。情けない。自分たちは外食をして、弟がこんなものを食べていたことにも気がつかなかったなんて。死にたいぐらい恥ずかしいわ。
Yeah, you can also see Kazuki kind of has a brother complex at this point, clearly. I'm sorry, Ne-chan.
あなたは何も悪くないわ。気づいてあげられなくて、私の方こそごめんなさい。
It's no big deal. I'm used to it. Kazuki responded with a sharp, decisive exhalation of breath. Opening a door to the fridge, she began to impatiently rummage through its contents, pulling out food at random.
ああ、もう、ろくなものが入っていない冷蔵庫ね。すぐに食べられそうなものが何もないじゃない。私がデッサンに使ったバナナがあるけど、食べる？
Is it okay for me to eat those?
ええ、いいわよ。これからは何でも好きなものを食べなさい。私が許可します。
Just goes. After she says that, he goes and eats more of his water bread. That day, the sound of Kazuki harshly scolding our parents echoed throughout the house late into the night. It wasn't an argument in any real sense. She chewed them out and they sat there and took it. After this incident, parents' attitude toward me changed dramatically. Unfortunately, it wasn't a change for the better. My father's scorn for me grew in an increasingly unconcealable loathing. My mother, sensing danger and wanting no part of it, began blatantly avoiding me, although she never again forgot to buy the sweet buns. Aww. There's Satoko. Sad. Sad Satoko. No one in that house could openly oppose my sister. Naturally, that went for me as well. Kazuki made the rules and I followed them, no matter how absurd they might be. A little while after that incident, my sister called out to me when I came home from playing outside.
遅かったのね、ユージ。どこに行っていたの？
I was just playing with a friend.
そう、それはとてもいいことだけれど、まさか女の子じゃないわよね。
Dun 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 dun!
Well, yeah, it was.
あら、そう。もちろん説明してくれるわよね。どこのなんていう子？
She's named Sachi.
Ha! Ha! That's very weird! Sachi, you say, with pink hair!
I don't know where she lives, but I met her at the park today, so I guess her house must be around there.
初対面の女の子とすぐ友達になるなんてやるじゃない。それでまた会う約束をしたのね。
How do you know that?
どうして私にわからないことがあると思うの？
That's true. Wait, I don't, right? Like, is he writing this in his report? He's like, yeah, JB asked me this question, so I'm like, wait a second.
Yeah, dumb question.
今度その子、うちに連れていらっしゃいな。
Oh yeah, maybe he does know in this timeline. That's true.
I don't wanna. You always bully my friends, Nan-chan.
失礼ね。あなたの友達にふさわしいかどうか判断してあげているんじゃない。
Kazuki literally scares off. She goes, "Hey Yuuji, go make some friends." All right, interrogation time, kiddo. What's your family do? Are you happy at home? Are they feeding you? I make sure my brother's fed very well. Are you gonna be a good friend? And then they start running. Like, wait, don't go. Why do they run away all the time?
先月あなたが連れてきた女の子を私が泣かせたことをまだ怒っているの？ちゃんと理由を説明したでしょ？
Katsuki's jealous. Just a long pause in his room, completely quiet before he just screams loudly. You're right. No, it's just funnier if he's just recalling this to JB. And he's like, Sachi, pink hair. Wait! That'd just be funnier if he just goes, ah! Like in the middle of his interview. Although to be honest, JB already knows, so it doesn't matter. That they lived in the nearby each other when they were kids.
いい？親が資産家というだけではいいお友達とは呼べないの。たとえ貧乏な家の子であっても、その子の存在があなたにプラスになるのであれば、私も何もしなかったし、ああはならなかったわ。
Oh, was there something wrong with this girl at first?
I understand that part, but did you really have to say all that stuff to her?
ああ、それはあの子が自分の父親を立派な大人だと勘違いしていたようだから、本当のことを教えてあげただけよ。
Oh, so basically Katsuki made this little girl cry by like bad-mouthing her father. Nice. Maybe so, but there's such a thing as breaking it gently. Looking a young girl who was obviously proud of her dad in the eye, then sharply informing her your father is a mediocre man who gained his position solely through an above-average talent for passing the buck, seemed like a big bunch. Even if they were arguing, that was a line she really didn't have to cross.
それに、あの子の何が気に入らないって、自分を女王様か何かと勘違いしているところが一番気に食わないわね。世の中の男は全て自分に気があるとでも思っているのかしら。あの子のあなたを見る目は欲望に濁った女の目をしていたわ。
Katsuki, I'm gonna put this right now that you're probably the one looking at your brother-in-laws, and these are these are children! Children, Katsuki! My goodness.
子供のくせに気持ちの悪い。
Don't talk like that. I mean, people say the same sort of stuff about you, don't they? And you're the one who told me to make friends.
そうね。でも、女友達を作れと言った覚えはないわ。それなのに、あなたが作るお友達はどうして女の子ばかりなの？私が嫉妬するのがそんなに面白い？
Yo, I'm just gonna have a talk with you, Katsuki. You're gonna explain all this, and then she's like, what?
姉ちゃん、
そりゃね、わかるわよ。あなたは顔も私に似て女の子のように可愛らしいし、物静かで乱暴は嫌いだし、一見してなよっとしているくせに意外とスポーツが得意だったりするし、何より優しいものね。そりゃいい感じにモテるでしょうよ。
Katsuki's like, yeah, you're just perfect, okay? He's just like recalling. Yeah, I was telling my older sister about this girl I was hanging out with named Sachi with pink hair. Pink hair. Sachi. Ah!
でもね、私はそれが気に入らないの。それはもう全然気に入らない。
Yeah, I noticed that, Yuuji doesn't have many male friends outside of his, like, school and army training, etc. For some reason, I don't know why.
もしどうしても女の子の友達が欲しいのなら、私に許可をもらうこと。私の許可した女の子以外と仲良くなることを禁じます。いい？
King, stop thinking perverted thoughts. In that moment, I heard the echo of words my father had spoken to me once. The only reason I'm supporting a worthless brat like you is because Katsuki's attached to you. That meant I had no choice. I would be Katsuki's plaything for the rest of my life.
Whatever you say, Ne-chan.
そんな顔をしないで、ユージ。ごめんなさい。私が無茶を言っているのは分かっているのだけれど、いつか必ず あなたにふさわしい女の子を私が見つけてあげるから。
Oh my god, Kazuki chose Amane. She chose Amane though. Oh my god.
Okay.
というか、このままだとあなたは将来、ナチュラルに女の子を泣かせるずるい男になっちゃうわよ。
Oh, you don't even know the half of it, Kazuki.
I'll be careful.
って全然気をつけてないじゃない。むしろびっくりするぐらいお姉さんの予言通りの男に育ってるじゃない。
Yes! Yes, Jamie! Please point out this. Look, still in the middle of the story, okay? Don't just butt in at random.
だってねえ、ほらねえ。
What are you expecting to back you up there? For what it's worth, to the degree that my treatment of women may be slightly problematic, I think Kazuki is at least partially responsible.
どういうこと？
It's in the documents, isn't it?
ああ、姉によるセクハラ？
I don't know if harassment is exactly, well, In retrospect, I guess it was.
資料には具体的な被害状況は記載されていなかったけれど、どんなことをされたの？
Do I really need to go into that?
地下の彼女ができるだけ詳細な資料をよこせと言っているのだから仕方がないのよ。
Well, that sucks. Her again. What a pain. She's so interested. Why can't I just have this conversation with her instead of you?
彼女には誰も会えないのよ。それがルール。
It's because, you know, she has to remain hidden away. The rule, huh? Well, fine. I guess you could call it harassment, sure, but it didn't really feel that way at the time. I didn't even think we were doing anything particularly strange.
ユージ、お風呂に入りましょう。
Okay.
Sister and brother taking a bath together isn't anything out of the ordinary at that age. I know a few of my classmates did the same thing. So I got into the bath with my big sister and let her wash my hair from behind. Perfectly normal family bonding stuff at first. But after washing my head and cleaning behind my ears, Kazuki reached for the body soap and started working on my back. This involved gluing her body against mine in a tight embrace. By this point I was, naturally enough, starting to feel a little nonplussed. But when Kazuki whispered the words friendly siblings do this sort of thing all the time into my ear, I didn't really have any choice but to try and believe her.
ねえ、ユージはキスしたことある？
Well, Kazuki's about to sexually assault Yuuji, guys. It's about to get weird! Yeah, well, it's what's gonna happen, okay? Just like in the Japanese animes!
You're always kissing me.
そういう頬とかにじゃなくて、ほら、前に読んだ漫画みたいに大人同士が愛し合ってするようなキスしたことある？
Probably not, right?
Not really. I mean, I haven't kissed anyone except for you, Ne-chan.
そう、いい子ね。とてもいい子だわ、ユージ。私以外とは絶対にダメよ。
Yep, that's weird. That's weird.
Why?
私が嫌だからよ。ダメ？
Well, okay, I guess.
それなら約束しなさい。いい？
It's like, promise me!
Okay, I promise.
それから女の子に興味を持ってはダメよ。
Interested? Is that different from just making friends?
厳密に言うとちょっと違うわね。手をつなぎたいとか、お風呂に一緒に入りたいとか。
Kazuki's like, just do that with me only, okay, guy?
But I already take baths with you.
私とはいいのよ。
Okay.
いい？ユージ。そういう感情はとっても動物的なものなのよ。
Really? So she's animalistic, is what she's saying.
Animalistic?
そう。自分の DNA を残そうとする動物の本能が生み出す感情。犬や猫と同じよ。ユージは犬や猫と同じでいいの？
Wanna be like a dog or a cat, kid? At the time, the only dogs and cats I seen were the scraggly, hungry strays wandering around the streets of the town. It was a little comforting when I saw one. At least I was better off than them. So when Kazuki asked me if I wanted to be like those animals, there was only one answer. No, I really don't.
そうでしょ？だからユージ、約束しなさい。女の子に興味を持ってはダメよ。
That makes like 8 of Kanjimi and Chizuru. I think Chizuru got none, and that's a joke.
Okay, I promise.
いい子ね、ユージ。とってもいい子よ。
Yo, you probably know like Kazuki and Yuji's parents are downstairs going with like the father like angrily whispering to Satoko, poor Satoko, mother of this family who doesn't control anything. He's like, she like bathes with him. She bathes with him. Isn't that weird? That's weird. It's weird. I can't. Oh, no, act natural, act natural. They're done with the math. Kind of thing, right? Kazuki continued to strictly hold me to that promise until the time of her death. So if my attitude toward women is a little warped, I'd probably say that she's the root cause.
姉から受けていた歪んだ愛情の反動で、今は女に歪んだ愛をぶつけるようになったと、そういうこと？
I mean, that's what happens, you know, when you're as a kid. One way or another, can't deny that Kazuki had a huge influence on my personality.
今でもお姉さんのこと恨んでる？
JB's like, do you resent her for that? She tied me up with all sorts of rules and then dropped dead out of the blue. There are times when I look back and feel a little bitter. Still, I don't think resentment is the right word. At the end of the day, I was more scared of her than anything else, much more than I ever was of my father.
お姉さんが怖かったか。
I mean, she was ingrained into my mind as the one person I had to obey absolutely, no matter what. That hasn't really changed to this day. If Kazuki was still alive, I'd probably still be doing her bidding. That said, no matter how much I think about it, no matter what else you want me to put on the scale, I don't have any doubt that she genuinely loved me. Right now, I guess, I'm grateful to Kazuki.
そう。
Ugh.
疲れた？少し休憩する？
Yeah, I'd appreciate it.
コーヒー入れるわ。
Meanwhile, in the...
結局呼んじゃったわよ。なんで怒ってんのあんた。
Yeah, I know, right?
だって本人の知らないところで勝手にこういうの読んじゃダメなんじゃないの？ほら、何？ゲロ袋的なやつ。
What?
ゲロ袋？おそらくエチケットという言葉がとっさに出てこなかったのではないかと。
etiquette.
そう、それ！エチケット！親しき中にも3があり。
Fondue, guys.
はあ？小峰さん、この子は何を言っているの？
あ、はい。親しき中にも礼儀ありと、国破れて賛がありとが言葉の響きだけでごっちゃになっていて。
They all found out he committed incest? King, they didn't all find out. Amane already knew, remember?
おまけに賛がありをサンガーリーと間違えて覚えているのではないかと。なんだか最近のチルチルってばバカさ加減に隙がないのよさ。360度オールレンジバカって感じ。
Alright.
バカって言うな。バカっていう子がバカなんだからね。まあとりあえずおからドーナツでも食べて一旦落ち着きましょうよ。
More donuts. I'm gonna just like, yeah, whatever, you know.
さっきから食ってんのよ。オーディうめえ。
ね、OD？ おしぼり泥棒？
What?
おからドーナツを略して OD では？というか、おしぼり泥棒ってどこから出てきた単語ですか？
Yeah, seriously.
は はあ、そんなのどうでもいいでしょ。それって今話すこと？
Sachi's like,
ああ、さっちゃん地味にイラついてる。
The angry Sachi face.
軽くでいいので、みちる様を殴ってもいいですか？
That'll probably knock her out, Sachi, so don't.
どうして私に許可を求めるのよ。
is Yumiko like the keeper of like of people?
サッチン、私が代わりに殴っといたから落ち着くのよ。
ありがとう、マキちゃん。
Best friends or what?
ちょっと、おからドーナツ食べてる時に後ろからガッてしないで。鼻でおから食べちゃったじゃないのよ。
Oh, that sucks.
鼻でおから食べ放題のおからバー状態じゃないのよ。もう汚いな。鼻からおからを飛ばさないの。どうしておやつぐらい静かに食べられないのあんたは。私が悪いの？ねえ。
It's because Michiro, you're being the dumb one in this case.
風見くんの過去を知って少しは真剣な空気になるかとも思ったのだけれど。
Yeah, everyone's like, yeah, we all went through traumas, whatever.
あなたたちにそんなことを期待したことがすでに間違いだったわ。私もまだまだね。
Yumiko's like worried, like, oh, should I act the same? What should I do? And then, like... Gripedia, guys! The front wing encyclopedia. OD, or O period D period. It's a well-known abbreviation of Okara donuts, a snack food invented by Suo Amane. These donuts take their name from their most notable ingredient, inexpensive soy pulp, okara, obtained from the local tofu shop. The raw materials used are typically two-thirds normal donut dough and one-third dry okara. Rather than frying them in oil, they are baked in a steam oven. Early in the research process, experimental variety known as Shingen donuts was developed, adding soy flavor and black syrup to the basic okara donut flavor. However, these proved to be unpleasantly dry, and the soy flour tended to make a mess. For these reasons, this variation was discontinued. As a substitute, Suo Amane began to knead chocolate chips and finely sliced pieces of dry fruit into the dough itself. This improved the okara donut's flavor greatly without making them difficult to eat. Monro OD is a highly nutritious snack, rich in dietary fiber, which contributes to its continuing popularity among the dormitory's residents. Soft cookie controversy. You're looking at the forefront of research and technologies in one. The Gripedia, the front-wing encyclopedia. Soft cookie controversy. While the OD certainly appears to be a donut, given its distinctive torus shape, some claim that its ingredients and non-fried nature means it should properly classify as a circular soft cookie. However, the manufacturer, Suo Amane, continues to insist that the OD is a genuine donut. Regarding its abbreviation, the popular abbreviation OD was created by one Irisu Makina, a younger friend of the inventor Suo Amane. In Irisu's own words, they call the anti-submarine rocket ASROC for short. So the okara donut's gotta be OD, man! Incidentally, when the term ASROC and Tamiyasu Rock are often confused, as they sound rather similar, they're actually totally unrelated. Also, they don't even sound that similar.
とりあえずここまで読んだけど、ユージってばこんな過去があったのね。そりゃあネクラのミリタリーオタクになっても仕方がないか。
Is this in the game? Yes, it's in the game.
はあ？はあって何よ？何か文句あるな。
風見くんの不幸なんてこんなものじゃないわよ。というか、まだ始まってもいないわ。
Yeah, even an incest? Not good enough.
何ユミコ。あんたユージの過去とか知ってるの？
She knows a little too much.
これでも一応私は学園の運営側の人間なのよ。知らないわけがないでしょ？
Yeah, that's just in the game. There you go. A Gripedia, the front-winning encyclopedia page. Yo, I love that. Could that be a real site? Please tell me it's a real site.
風見くん側から提出された資料には一通り目を通したし、そこから得た情報をもとに独自調査ぐらいするわよ。
Yumiko's like, I know stuff.
それでも風見くんの場合はあなたたちと違って開示制限のある情報が多くて調べるのにとても苦労したし、全てを調べ上げたわけじゃないわ。幼い頃に風見くんと小峰さんの接点があったなんてこの資料で初めて知ったし。
Oh yeah, that's right.
あ、そうだ、 サチ、あんたユージと幼馴染だったのね。
Okay, so we're gonna bring that up. Good, good.
はい。と言っても、それほど親しかったわけではありませんが。
なんで言わなかったのよ。
一度も聞かれませんでしたから。それに、私の過去に直結する大切な思い出ですし、あまり気軽にポンポン話す気になれなかったと言いますか。
Okay, good. So we're addressing these things, okay.
だいたい、私もユウくんにこんな事情があったとは知りませんでした。
Of course not.
私と同じように、何かお家に帰りたくない理由がある子なのかなとは思っていましたが、
Sachi, saw a little bit.
こうして改めて読んでみて、とても驚きました。
私にしてみりゃ、やっぱなーっていうか、ある意味想像通りだったのよさ。
Maki is like, yo, I kind of know what it feels like to have crappy parents, you know? At least one particularly crappy parent, you know?
私はお兄ちゃんと遊んでもらうこと多かったから、いろいろな話を聞いてたし、なんつうかさ、お兄ちゃんもガキの頃、ろくな育てられ方してねえなーって思ってたし。
I know, right?
そんで、なんか取り返しのつかないことが起こって、もう普通には生きられなくなったのかなーって、そんな風に思ってたのよ。
I'm gonna say, oh man. Oh man.
スオさん、分かっているとは思うけれど、イリスさんは別にあなたを責めているわけではないのよ。
I'm gonna like, man, I feel so bad right now.
何なの？なんでアマネが落ち込むわけ？
それは、
Amane probably knows more about Yuuji than like most people here, right?
じゃわかんないし。っていうか、言いにくいようなことなら無理に聞かないわよ。
もう、話してもいいんじゃないかしら、スオさん。
Yumiko's like, I know, by the way.
何？ユミコは全部知ってるの？
Yumiko's like, I know your parents.
その資料に出てくるユージのお姉ちゃん、風見和樹って、私の同級生で、私と同じバスケ部の部員だったのよ。
Oh my goodness! That's a big reveal! From Amane's mouth!
そうなの。じゃあ、あんたもユージのことを知ってたんだ。
名前だけは聞いていたっていうか、ごめん。うまく説明できない。本人の口から説明するのは辛いでしょうし、私から説明する方がいいのかしら。
Because I have a report and everything. I typed it out, it's right here.
と言っても、私も新聞で調べたこと以上の情報は持っていないのだけれど。そんなこともあろうかと、この小峰幸。先ほどからドーナツをパクつきながらも、マキちゃんと二人で、あたかもジグソーパズルを組み立てるがごとく復元した続きの資料がございますが。
Okay, these guys are monsters. They're freaking terrifying. Shredded piece of paper and putting it all back together.
お読みになられますか？小峰さん、あなたこの学園を卒業してもスパイで食べていけるわよ。
I know, right?
いいえ、私はマキちゃんが選別したものを並べているだけですよ。
Oh my god! Yeah, Sachi can brute force it. Makina, however.
すごいのは、裁断された資料に印刷された文字編を一瞬で記憶して関連付けしながら集めているマキちゃんです。
Oh shoot, that's a scary ability to have right there, you know?
ほいよ、次のページ上がり。
早いわね。
このまま7分に1ページのペースで復元していけば、比較的短時間で全てを復元することも可能ですが、どうしますか？ 続けますか?
Makina's like probably reconstruct it and read all of it herself anyway.
由美子。
だからいちいち私に許可を求めないでくれる?
Everyone's like, Yumiko, are we allowed to do this? She's like, guys, all I did was I know all your pasts, and I let you guys into the school. Stop asking me questions.
いいよ、続けて。ユージに怒られたら、私が責任取って謝るから。
スオさん、あなた。
Amina is ready to face her past too now, guys.
私、知りたいの。あの事故の後、ユージがどうなったのか。どんな風に生きてきたのか。知りたい。
Oh, she wants to know what happened. Alright, well, back to Ichigaya. You're normally adorable today, GB.
何よ、突然。
Well, I was just thinking it's been a while since I had some of your coffee. It's my way of showing my gratitude. I'm waking up to the smell of miso soup pretty often these days. And I'm starting to appreciate that sort of thing a little more. All thanks to Amina, I suppose.
あまねちゃんのことは知っているんでしょ?
That she was a classmate of Kazuki's, you mean? Yeah, only found out fairly recently, though.
彼女を恨んではいないの?
I don't think she was responsible for Kazuki's death. And either way, it's not like blaming her would bring the dead back to life. Okay, so Yuuji and Amina have had a talk about this too at some point. So yeah, this is like the everything is kind of sorting itself out chapter of stuff, I guess. I mean, if you'd given me a choice between Amina and Kazuki back at the time of the accident, I would have wanted my sister to survive. At this point, I'm seriously grateful to Kazuki for protecting her.
あなたにとってお姉さんとはどんな存在だったの?
God. Kazuki was Kazuki. Nothing more, nothing less. If you really wanted something more conceptual, I guess I saw her as something akin to a god. Yup! There you go! The religion of Kazuki!
神ね。
Yeah, right. That's just how much of a kid I was. Anyway, let's keep going with that document. Oh, trust me. Yuuji, even today, Amina would say, yep, she's my god. Well, first of all, I didn't watch anything but the Fruit of Grisaia. The Fruit of Grisaia actually sections off into the different endings of the Fruit of Grisaia with each of the girls, and they do it in a very lackluster way. You guys should just buy and play the Fruit of Grisaia entirety instead. It's so much better. So no, the anime route with the Amina ending ends with you know, them getting married and like him dying of old age and stuff, just like the Amina route in the Fruit of Grisaia did. So I didn't watch the Labyrinth of Grisaia movie or anything like that either, or I didn't watch the Eden of Grisaia anime series. I just know they exist because it'd be stupid to watch those when I'm like, oh, I'm gonna play the game, you know. Like when someone is throwing to myself, I'm gonna play the game. That's just how much of a kid I was. Anyway, let's keep going with that document. Eventually, my sister entered a famous private school on the wishes of her parents. Through high-quality instruction appropriate for someone of Kazuki's talents, her aesthetic would mature and evolve, bringing her art to an even higher level of sophistication. That was the idea, at least, but my sister deliberately betrayed our parents' overblown expectations, shunning Takizono Academy's fine arts clubs in favor of the basketball team. The anime route actually goes through each of the endings per se, kind of. Oh, you're saying it's the anime route minus them hooking up at the end. Okay. Yeah, I mean, kind of. Not really. No, it still felt like... It felt very individualized, and it felt really shallow, I should say. Her grades in academic subjects and PE alike were suspiciously consistently 70s across the board. Hiding her overwhelming talents, Kazuki pursued a tranquil everyday life. That sharp tongue of hers still made a few appearances, of course, but But a school for rich young ladies, a slightly thorny attitude was nothing out of the ordinary. On top of which, Kazuki was trying very hard to come off as a pleasant, mild-mannered girl to her classmates. She managed to gather a good number of friendly acquaintances through that act. She'd pick out useful or competent girls from the group for special attention, controlling them like pawns to her own advantage. Kazuki is slowly becoming... She's gonna take over the academy, right? Well, controlling is probably a little too harsh. Yeah, right. I bet that's exactly what she did. Yeah, it's fun to see southern parts of an anime. I agree with that. The people my sister manipulated didn't really notice what was happening. Rather than forcing them to do something, she subtly guided them towards certain choices. For the most part, they did exactly what Kazuki wanted without even realizing that she was influencing their actions. I was the only one who knew what my sister really was. That was only because she discussed her real intentions so frankly with me ever since we were young. Even our parents weren't aware that they were dancing on Kazuki's strings. I was deeply, deeply afraid of her. Kazuki can't be human. Maybe she's some kind of god? I was the only one who understood my sister's true nature. But terrifying as she was, I was also completely dependent on her. I assumed that I would keep living in the palm of Kazuki's hand for many years to come. Right up until the day she left for her basketball team's summer training camp. It was my sister's first summer vacation since entering Takizono Academy, following a relatively uneventful few months for our strained family. Kazuki was participating in an overnight camp as a member of the Takizono basketball team. For about a week, she would be staying at a campground in Nagano Prefecture. She'd always been at the center of that lopsided family, counteracting the centrifugal forces that would have otherwise ripped us apart. She was the balance shaft that kept our household rotating smoothly. Now suddenly she was gone. That week stretched on and on. The anxiety was suffocating, inescapable. Felt as though I'd been left all alone on a sailing boat in a totally calm sea. Only 2 days after Kazuki left the house, parents began to argue viciously every time they encountered each other. And if I was unfortunate enough to be somewhere nearby, it would usually end with Dad blindsiding me with harsh words and harassment that I earned simply for being a convenient target. Coffee's too damn hot! That was enough for a reason for my father to throw a mug at my head. It wasn't the first time something like that had happened. A few days without my sister and we were already falling apart. It was the absence of God all it took to make people to such ugly creatures. Picking up the fragments of that shattered mug, I watched my mother sobbing impotently on the floor. I found myself praying that Kazuki would come home as soon as possible. I held my breath, made myself small, like some frightened animal burrowing deep into the ground, tried desperately to avoid my father's wrath, waiting for my sister's return. Once Kazuki comes back, once God returns, I wouldn't have to hide myself anymore. All I had to do was keep quiet and endure. This nightmare would end eventually. I was used to enduring this sort of thing. As long as I didn't get greedy, I wouldn't get hurt, wouldn't suffer too much. I'd just be a little lonely for a while, a little sad. It wouldn't kill me. After all, this bed of nails was only a temporary torment. A miserable week had finally passed. It was all but over for now. Today my sister was coming home. God was returning. She was never easy to deal with, but having her around sure beat the alternative. In that respect, I suppose Kazuki really was a divine presence in our lives. People who can laugh off the idea of God don't know how lucky they are. That's only an option for someone who's never found themselves completely helpless, someone who's never looked up at the sky and screamed through their tears. In the end, my prayers dissolved meaninglessly into the clouds. My sister didn't get back on time. At first we assumed the bus was caught in traffic, but after a few hours, it started to seem less likely. Wow! Wow, that's a harsh comment. If you look out the window, you can see Sachi's parents getting run over. Oh my god! Oh, that's doing dirty, man. Oh. Team's advisor, who had been in charge of the trip, wasn't answering his cell phone. I tried calling Kazuki instead, but heard only another mechanical voice informing us that her phone was turned off or out of range. I had a bad feeling about it. As I remember my bitter childhood fantasies of life without Kazuki, frightening what-ifs flitted through my mind, and I could feel sweat oozing coldly out of my pores. And by the way, that did not happen yet. Remember, Sachi's parents die a little bit later. Because remember, Yuuji mentioned to Sachi that about Kazuki, remember? That she didn't come home, or that like and Sachi's like, oh yeah, if you pray to God, you know. So remember my bitter childhood fantasy of a life without Kazuki. Frightening what-ifs flitted through my mind, and I could feel sweat oozing coldly out of my pores. I spent years daydreaming about my sister disappearing. But right did I have to expect her to come back and rescue me now? Maybe she finally gotten sick of my selfishness and decided to leave for good. The sense of guilt grew heavy as a rock in the pit of my stomach, but I learned that Kazuki and her classmates had vanished without a trace. It was as if their bus had been abruptly spirited off the face of the earth. Close enough, actually. Despite an all-out search effort by authorities along the route and our local police, 2 weeks crawled by with no progress whatsoever. Finally, the investigation headquarters set up by the Tokyo Metropolitan Police was dissolved. The case was entrusted to the National Police Agency as a matter for a long-term, wide-scale investigation. To put the matter more simply, they'd halfway given up on finding them. Local search efforts did continue, now personally funded by the families of the missing girls, but to no avail. Eventually, there was even talk that it might have been a mass kidnapping organized by a foreign country. And in the home to which my sister never returned, my father, his principal source of income gone, ranted and raved in a near frenzy. My mother, unable to oppose her husband, could do nothing but grieve and cry. I hid myself quietly in the shadows as our house is filled with darkness, and one night I snuck into my sister's studio to gaze at her half-finished paintings. My sister can't possibly be dead. Kazuki is above death. Blind faith was all I had to cling to now. By the way, I think at this point, now Sachi's parents are dead. Maybe this disappearance was part of my sister's plan. Maybe she was living as a totally different person somewhere, enjoying the freedom and normality she desperately longed for. These ridiculous delusions at least allowed me to hold on to some fragile shred of hope. But in the end, even that meager refuge was shattered to pieces. A single student had been on the basketball team trip with my sister was discovered in a farmer's field, where she'd been greedily devouring cabbage after cabbage. The girl was emaciated and exhausted, but managed to explain the situation to the local policeman who rushed to her hospital room. On the way back, the team had taken an old unused mountain road to avoid congestion. Their tire had been punctured and the bus plunged down a cliff in a section of the road with no guardrail. Fortunately, the bus didn't catch on fire after its tumble down the slope, but it had landed at the bottom of a deep natural hole, separated from the road by thick greenery that made discovery unlikely. And of course, their cell phones were out of range. As for leaving to summon help on their own, the walls of the valley sloped over them, making it impossible to climb back up. There was a possibility of escape through the dense virgin forest at the very bottom of the gorge, but there were many wounded, so the group opted for a conservative plan of waiting for help while conserving their supplies. At the bottom of a forest so thick that light barely reached them, the team endured for 2 long weeks. Finally, their limits of physical and mental endurance long enough since passed, the girls mustered her last ounce of strength for a desperate escape attempt. She was the only one to get out alive. The police resumed their search based on the survivor's testimony, found the fallen bus without much difficulty. It was now a crumpled wreck lying at the bottom of a rocky gorge below an abandoned road. On the site, they found signs of a struggle involving multiple individuals, along with numerous mutilated corpses. Some already decomposed to the bone. My sister's death was officially confirmed in mid-September. Yeah, that's not a pretty sight. Oh my god, the Takizono Academy bus disaster. Many details regarding this incident were deliberately concealed from the public. The media supplemented its facts with exaggerated speculation, leading to a popular narrative that differed significantly from the truth in many respects. But at the time, I had no way of knowing that, and in any case, there was only one fact that seemed relevant for the Kazumi family. The death of my sister. Oh shoot, they're playing even more serious music! What? The death of God. It's too much to accept. My father raged. My mother wept. I actively refused to believe it. Kazuki can't possibly be dead. No matter how many times I repeated those childish words to myself, My sister wasn't coming back. With the passage of time, we slowly began to accept that fact, and our family began to crumble under its weight. Despair spread through the house like a cancer. The fragile bonds that had tied us together rounded away with frightening speed. My father was devastated. His overblown expectations for my sister's future had come to nothing. All the money he'd spent on her education was now just another investment gone bust. One by one, the companies which had offered financing in anticipation of Kazuki's career abandoned him. As the last lines of credit dried up, we no longer had any real source of income. Our living conditions deteriorated visibly from week to week. Family had always been a brittle, makeshift thing. Now with our only pillar of hope gone, that ramshackle structure gave up even trying to hold itself together. We'd lost energy to maintain the farce. So with the menacing symbol? No. It's not menacing. It's like when your whole world crumbles around you, it's not menacing. It's just, you know, it's like that like twinge of depression kind of thing, I'd say. Wallowing in self-pity over his misfortune, my father began drinking heavily nearly every day. His mistreatment of my mother and me escalated into clear abuse. He hit the bars until dawn with less than savory friends, often ending up in the drunk tank for bellowing at some hapless waitress. When he did manage to stagger home, he beat Mom viciously, screaming, "I'm the master of this house!" Mom hadn't done anything wrong, but she still apologized every time he started hitting her. Again and again, desperately. I'm sorry. Not even knowing what she was apologizing for, she groveled with her forehead to the ground, whimpering the words like a terrified animal, waiting for a storm to blow past. My mother was a very weak person. In the old man's words, she was a woman with nothing going for her but her looks. He seemed to think he'd done her a real favor picking her up out of the bars, where she'd been working for lack of any other way to support herself. Even I could tell that Dad had never treated her particularly well. Still, she'd given birth to the golden egg. Her position as Kazuki's mother guaranteed her a fairly comfortable life. But now that role had been taken away from her, she had nothing left to defend herself with. Same was true for me. With no way to fight back, I had no choice but to endure my father's irrational violence. It was essentially a living punching bag for him to vent his anger on. One night when he came home particularly drunk, Mom pushed me into a wardrobe.
ここに隠れていなさい。お父さんはまたきっとすぐに寝てしまうから。私がいいと言うまではここから出てきてはダメよ。
Oh man. Even though like it's kind of sad. Is this the day? I don't think she was worried about my safety for its own sake. Now that Kazuki was gone, my mother had simply grown dependent on me. It was the only ally she had left.
あなたのためにお母さん頑張るから。
But still, you know, that's mother instinct right there. The fact that, you know, like she's a, we'll assume, we'll put what Yuuji just testified into light. Kazumi Satoko is a very weak person, just overall. So, when Kazuki was running the house, the mother could just hang her head, just be like, "Alright, things are okay. Kazuki will make it better." But now that Kazuki's gone, it's not. I think this goes both ways, Yuuji. I think yes, she is relying on you, but she is relying on you so she can be a little bit stronger to get through every day. So while it may look at like weakness, which it is in a way, but that's like her own little bit of strength. It might be just enough to get through like a day, a week, a month, you know? So it's both her weakness and her strength. It's very interesting in that regard. It feels, and you know what? Like, it's this kind of thing that feels very real. Like, this is like a very realistic abusive family sounding setting. Even though they won't change the background to make it look more dilapidated, but whatever. Telling herself that was probably the only way Mom could see living as anything but a source of meaningless pain. Yeah, right, there you go. The idea of protecting her only remaining child was a convenient means of bolstering her courage against the temptation to die. Exactly. We endured for 3 months, trembling at every sound from the front door once night fell. Finally, my mother could take no more, and the two of us left that hellish house hand in hand. There weren't any relatives to take us in. Mama never held a job outside of a nightclub and knew little of the world. No real plan, we fled to Mobara in Chiba, city where she'd grown up. She rented an apartment not far from her childhood home, and told me that we'd be living there as a family of 2 from now on. Only 2 weeks later, before we'd even settled in, father tracked us down. Screaming with rage, he knocked my mother to the ground, kicking and punching her viciously. For the first time in my life, I stood up to him. Stop it, Dad! Mom didn't do anything wrong. My father's eyes went wide at an unexpected interference. Releasing his grip on his wife's hair, turned and struck me hard in the side of my face. The impact was so strong I could feel my brain rattle against my skull. Stunned, I fell down onto my backside. I was only a child. No matter how hard I fought, I couldn't hope to master the sheer strength of a grown man. Still, I couldn't just crawl away. Now that Katsuki was gone, it was my job to protect my mother. She was the only thing I had left. I understood all too well how miserable it felt to have no one on your side. I clung stubbornly to my father's legs, holding on even as his blows grew increasingly brutal. While I found the will to live by protecting me. By taking that beating for her, I felt as though I'd discovered some point to my own existence. Maybe this was the reason I'd been born. True, I was defective compared to my big sister. Now that she was gone, I wasn't so meaningless anymore. I was the backup, the one who bared the brunt if Katsuki died. All felt very clear to me now. My father swung his arm down furiously, catching me square in the temple. The cheap gold watch on his wrist must have struck my face. There was a dull crunching sound from my nose. Lukewarm blood began to ooze slowly down my forehead. When Mom saw the blood on my face, her voice rose to a frantic scream. Man, I have a very strong urge. At the end, Mom apologized countless times when my father ground his foot against her head, and the 3 of us went back home. Not to state the obvious, but Katsuki wasn't waiting for us there. Nothing had changed since we left. The god of that house was dead. There was no replacing her. So for a while after we returned, my father was unusually quiet. Maybe the man was sobered by what he'd done. Once or twice he even apologized. That period of relative calm didn't last long. We were quickly eating through the money Katsuki had left behind. My father couldn't adjust to our newly meager lifestyle. His debts accumulated until we were all but buried under their weight. As his fears about the future grew, Dad once again started to quiet his anxiety through explosions of violence. Nothing was going to change. If we stayed with this man, he was just going to drag us down with him. For the second time, Mom and I decided to leave. We messed up on our first try. He found us because we ran to such a familiar place. This time we were going to go someplace where nobody knew us, some town we'd never even seen before. When you're trying to lay low, the basic rule is to look for an area with a large population and a high rate of residential turnover. My mother, naturally enough, didn't know that at the time. Yeah, right. So after a few hours transferring from train to train seemingly at random, we arrived somewhere in the rural southwest of Gunma Prefecture. Oh, Yuuji even says something about that too, and with the Machina route, where he's like, you know, the light is darkest under the lighthouse, and you know, you're better off going to a place that's highly populated because you become a faceless nobody amongst the crowd. I don't recall it too clearly. I was still a child being pulled along by his mother. It was all a little overwhelming. I do remember it was a quiet country town about 40 minutes from the central Takasaki station. Mom had walked out the door with nothing but the clothes on her back, telling my father she was taking me shopping. Given the circumstances, we hadn't been able to take much money. At a small real estate agency on the outskirts of town, nearly half our escape fund vanished from the deposit on a one-story rental house.
ここが今日から私とユージの住むお家よ。
I mean, thanks, Mom, but judging from the background music, this is gonna go very badly for everyone here. Mom wanted privacy from the neighbors, but renting a detached house had been a real financial stretch. The place we found hadn't been inhabited in years. It was as desolate and dusty as a haunted house. There wasn't even a flush toilet. In itself, it wasn't exactly the most pleasant place you could call home, but the only thing that really mattered was that Mom and I had it to ourselves. Dad wasn't there. That was enough to make even a shabby house feel like paradise. Mom had her name removed from our old certificates of residence and appealed to have our change of address information restricted given her status as a victim of domestic violence. For explaining the circumstances to the local school, she handled procedures for my transfer as well. We had a home, and I had a school to attend. We barely had time to catch our breath before the main problem reared its ugly head. But simply, there was no money. For a week spent sighing at her rapidly thinning wallet, Mom steeled herself and went out to find employment. Her days were spent working part-time at a canning factory, her nights as a hostess in a snack bar near the station.
もうね、私にはユージしか残ってないの。あなたが一人前になって、自分で働いて暮らしていけるようになるまでは、私が頑張るから。何も心配しなくていいのよ。
Oh, look at this. See? She's a very weak woman that's trying her best to become a slightly not as weak woman. Mom was orphaned so young that her education effectively ended before she left middle school. Determined to keep me from suffering the same hardships, she threw herself into a grueling work schedule. In the mornings, I left the house with her when she headed out for a part-time job at the cannery. As we walked together, Mom pushing along the beat-up old bicycle she bought used, our neighbors would stare with undisguised hostility and whisper to each other. The woman who ran away from the city to ditch her husband. That was the only name they knew my mother by in that insular little town. Someone said that woman in our neighborhood, there was no mistaking who they meant.
おはようございます。
When she greeted them, there was no response. But once we passed by, we could hear whispers from behind our backs. What was that? I don't remember becoming her friend. If Mom opted for nothing but a silent nod instead, it would be, I can't tell what's going on inside that woman's head. When you get right down to it, they didn't like having some strange outsider and a child in their neighborhood. The place had that quasi-medieval atmosphere, typical of small rural towns. The fact that we come from Tokyo seemed to invite hatred. And it certainly didn't help that Mom was a single mother with no local ties, or more or less ostracized. Seasons changed, but the eyes of our neighbors never grew any warmer. The only locals who welcomed my mother's arrival were the male customers at the snack bar by the station. That night job must have contributed to her negative reputation as well. One day, a classmate at school used a word I never heard before. I honestly didn't know what it meant. So when I got home that afternoon, I asked my mother.
Somebody told me your mom's a whore at school today. What does that mean?
Sometimes innocence can be crueler than malice. Meeting my gaze, Mom forced a quavery, defeated smile onto her face and said only, I'm sorry.
ごめんね。ユージ。ごめんなさい。
I didn't have the first idea why she was apologizing to me. It was more irritating than anything else. But I did understand that I must have said something I shouldn't have. What does Mom have to apologize for anyway? She's protecting me, isn't she? Mom was working hard to support the two of us. She didn't have a thing to be ashamed of. There's no reason for her to be sorry. Because as a child, or maybe exactly because I was a child, I believed that absolutely. My mother was a kind person. No one treated her kindly. She finally managed to escape Dad, but she was still apologizing every time she opened her mouth. Very quickly, I learned to hate the words, I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, that's right. He hates those words. I wanted to grow up right away. Watching my mother sacrifice herself to keep me fed was just too frustrating. I needed to become an adult so I could help her too. At a young age, I was already starting to strain for something like self-sufficiency. Still, there wasn't much I could actually do to contribute. The exception of washing the rice and setting our cooker when Mom came home drunk from her bar. To be honest, my mother wasn't the best cook even when she was sober. Back when she was living on her own as a hostess with a nocturnal lifestyle, she mainly got by on convenience store lunches and the snacks her customers bought her at work. And even after she married and became a mother, usually ate out or had something delivered. It was pretty rare for her to make an actual meal. When she told me we were going to cook for ourselves from now on to save money, all I could think was, wonder how long that's going to last. As it turned out, our dinners were mostly canned food Mom took home from her part-time job, plopped onto a plate, and supplemented with very basic stir-fry or boiled dishes. And late in the month, as our money ran low waiting for the next paycheck, there were days where we had nothing but fried rice on our table. It was a shoddy-looking lump of rice with fish paste or frozen vegetables as the only other ingredients. Well, I was used to simple foods, and I didn't mind the taste. The only thing I hated about those meals was hearing my mother apologize as she put them on the table. Every time she reflexively muttered "I'm sorry," I thought of all the times she said that phrase before. She hated meaningless words stretching back into the past. Made me sad for reasons I couldn't express. We carried on like that for a full year. Definitely wasn't an easy situation, but I tried to lessen my mother's burden by adjusting to our frugal new lifestyle as best I could. I didn't need anything more. Well, a decently sized fridge would have made things a little more convenient. Not exactly a Charles Dickens novel, just a humble life. It wasn't so bad. Go through my daily routine without causing problems for someone else. And enough food that I had enough food that I wouldn't starve. If I was injured or sick, I could go to the doctor. Two of us just had to scrape along like this for a while. Eventually I started working, and we were able to afford a little more in the way of luxuries. Just as a modest hope was starting to take root in my heart, it was ripped away by a terror I nearly managed to forget. Dad found us again. He appeared abruptly one evening, just as my mother was putting on her makeup in preparation for her night job at the snack bar. I had no idea how he had discovered our whereabouts. But at that moment I was less shocked by my father's sudden arrival by how dramatically he had changed. The stench of alcohol wafted from his body, singeing my nose. He'd always been... stinging my nose, oops. He'd always been a slender man. Now his cheeks were hollow. His clouded eyes, sunken deep in their sockets, reflected the dim electric light with a sickly sheen. It's not Yoshikage Kira's wet dream? Don't say that. Glaring at the two of us as we stood there in shock, my father pushed his way into the room. Taking Mom's wallet from her handbag, pulled out the 3 1,000 yen bills remaining inside and thrust them toward me. Taking the 3 bills he practically slapped onto my chest, I looked at my mother with pleading eyes. What do we do? What should I do? Just say the word, tell me to fight. I'll throw myself at him without the slightest hesitation. Mom answered my unspoken words with the pitifully artificial smile I knew so well. That smile made me incredibly sad. Yo, that makes me incredibly sad! That makes me incredibly sad, you know? Saying. A year earlier, just before Mom and I fled, Father owed his creditors about 32 million yen. I have no way of knowing exactly how the man spent that year. It's probably safe to assume he kept up a less than responsible lifestyle. In fact, it seems he sunk so deeply into self-indulgence that his debt ballooned to many times his original size. Just to top things off, his latent alcoholism had returned with a vengeance. The man ignored us totally for a year after our escape. Why track us down now? What was the point? I have to assume he was looking for money. Not that we had anything to give him, of course. Mom had apparently been putting aside what little she could in hopes of sending me to college. We were struggling just to keep food on the table. Everything we had in the world wouldn't have made a dent in the amount he owed. It was indescribably frustrating to buy that man alcohol with money Mom and I had saved by pinching every penny. Still, neither of us knew how to fight back. So I returned home after buying a 2-liter bottle of shochu at the neighborhood supermarket. A grimy little K car parked near our house caught my eye. On my way out, still reeling from shock, I didn't even notice it was there. It's been the vehicle my father had driven here. Had he sold off the foreign car he used to own for some quick cash? Peering in the window as he passed, I could make out a pile of empty Chuai cans and a dirty blanket inside. My father just might have been living in that thing. Pathetic. Man who drove a car like that sunk his claws into us yet again. What was going to happen to me and Mom now? Even for a child, the thought was enough to prompt a nauseating wave of fear and disgust. I hate him. I wish he'd just die. The words oozed up from somewhere deep inside me like a toxic sludge. A shiver ran down my spine. When you wish for something like that, it might come back to haunt you someday. Just like when my sister died, I'll regret it in the end. Regret it? Really? Would I really feel anything if that leech of a man ended up dead? Just knowing that I bought that bottle of alcohol for him, I barely keep myself from smashing against the ground. How much could I regret the death of someone like him? I don't know. I squeezed the bottle of shochu tightly and bit my lower lip, trying to calm down. At that moment, I heard glass breaking inside the house, and Mom screamed. Mom?
Mom?
A bewildering storm of emotions surged through me. Uncertainty, fear, anger. Even so, I knew I had to help Mom. Rushing forward in a panic, I burst into the house.
お前は金の卵を産むガチョウだ。もう一度天才を産ませてやる。そうすりゃ、俺はまた。
When I pushed open the door, I was greeted by the sight of my father, his eyes bloodshot and clouded in madness, forcibly pressing my mother against the ground. Mom?
Yuuji! ダメ! こっちに来てはダメよ!
Yuuji! てめえちゃんと酒は買ってきたのか? 買ってきたんなら、そこに置いて、てめえは出てけ。しばらく帰ってくるんじゃねえぞ。
Stop it, Dad. What are you doing to her?
うるせえ! ぶっ飛ばされてえのか。とっととどっか行け。外で遊んでこい、クソガキが。
ユージ、行きなさい。私なら大丈夫だから。
まともに子育てもできなかったお前が一丁前に母親面してんじゃねえよ。
Roaring with anger, my father smacked Mom in the face. Even as she cried out, my mother forced that pathetic excuse for a smile onto her face, her eyes pleading for me to flee. The bitter taste of helplessness filling my mouth, I left the bottle of alcohol on the tatami mat, turned my back and ran out the door. I ran away. I abandoned my mother. I couldn't stop him. I was a child. What else was I supposed to do? The excuses came easily enough, but I was still ashamed of myself. All that talk about helping my mother, in the end, I deserted her. What if something terrible happened to Mom? Stupid. Something terrible already was happening. Mom was crying. She's crying over her own powerlessness. And I wasn't any different. Even as I watched Mom suffering, I cringed at my father's rage, and then I ran away without doing a thing. Without even trying. At this rate, nothing was going to change. No one's ever going to save us. Our neighbors hated trouble. They'd probably slam the door in my face if I asked for help. I thought about going to the police. If we made this into something serious, we'd end up being forced to move all over again. Just the thought of it was frustrating. And the thought of some bored policeman in a dingy little station sneering, "Can't you solve your own family squabbles?" was downright infuriating. What would Kazuki have done at a time like this? Of course, she used her head and come up with some clever solution to fix everything. I was no genius. Idiots can't solve their problems within one neat stroke. Still, even an idiot can learn how to blunder their way forward eventually. Even if it didn't work the first time, we just look for another chance to run away from Dad. Just have to start over again from square one, as many times as it took. Holding on to that newfound determination, I stopped in my tracks, head back toward the house as fast as I could manage. I was worried about my mother. I could see her being beaten, punched, kicked, apologizing again and again, answered by more blows. Imagination urged me on until my legs couldn't keep up. Frustration built inside me with every stride. By the time I reached home, my heart was pounding like an alarm bell. My mind was simmering with anger. I slipped quietly into the house, trying not to give myself away. So I found my mother pinned to the ground underneath my father. Mom.
相変わらずいい体してるぜ、お前は。
The room was filled with a choking animal stink. The light of that setting sun slanting in through the window. See my mother's face, her eyes were unfocused. When I took in the sight of my father biting at her neck with an expression of deranged pleasure on his face, the first thought to pop into my head was a childish misunderstanding. He's eating her! Stop it! Get off her!
ああ、てめえ何戻ってきてんだよ。しばらく帰ってくんなって言っただろうが。邪魔すんな、このクソガキが。
I jumped forward instinctively to pull Dad away, hit me with all of his strength. The ruthless backhand blow smashed into the side of my face. I felt stunned to the ground, or feeling some strange object inside my mouth. The instant I realized it was a fragment of a broken tooth, I lost consciousness. When I opened my eyes again, about an hour had passed. The room had grown dim in my vision, and my vision was blurry. I could only just make out my mother. She was lying perfectly still, her body bruised and battered. I'll kill him. A flash of white-hot anger ran through me. In an instant, the passive thought, I wish he'd just die, and transformed into a concrete urge to kill him. Stand up. Fight back. Nothing was ever going to change if we kept running away. Nothing was ever going to change unless I changed myself. No matter how bitter reality might be, I had to face it. I had to fight back. There was no other choice. Kill him, kill him, kill him, kill him. So words rang out like a siren inside my mind. I reflexively reached out and took the bottle of alcohol, still sitting on the floor where I had left it. Fierce anger pulsed through me until I felt like my head would burst. Cutting through it all, I thought I heard my sister's voice.
文字を書いたり箸を持つのは右。ボールを投げたりバッターボックスに立つときは左。
Uh-oh. That's not words you want to hear at this very moment, Yuuji.
じゃあ、人を殺すときはどっちの手？
What? The eyes? With my right hand, I lifted the bottle over my father and swung it down the back of his head as hard as I could. A jarring impact rang through my arms as glass met skull. The tremendous crashing sound, the ball shattered against my father's head. As he continued to die, I kept reading dialogue. What? Covered in alcohol and jagged fragments of glass, my father let out a few low groans and went still. Mom? Mom, are you okay? Come on, get up. We have to get out of here. Tried to pull her towards the door, but she didn't move. Her face was swollen, covered in vicious dark red bruises, and her eyes were dull and unfocused.
Yuuji.
That was the name my mother used to call me when I was much, much younger. It was pretty girly, so I didn't really like it at the time. Sometimes it even made me think Mom wanted a girl instead. I remember getting angry every time she used it. Mom, let's get out of here, okay? This time, we'll go somewhere really far away.
そうね。また逃げなきゃね。
In response to my voice, Mom's mouth curved into a weak, strangely resigned grin. Somehow it wasn't quite the same as her usual forced smile.
でも、どこまで逃げればいいんだろうね。いつまで逃げればいいのかしら。
She mumbled those words, her gaze turned toward my father, lying quietly on the ground with his back turned to us. He hadn't even twitched since the blow to his head.
ごめんね。ゆうちゃんは足が速いから走って逃げなさい。私はこの人が私たちを追ってこれないようにするから先に逃げなさい。お母さん、後から行くから。
Mom slowly picked her battered body up off the floor. Taking a small drawstring bag, she slipped in our bank book and seal, added the cash left in her wallet, then hung it around my neck. All the money we'd been saving little by little was in that bank account.
これが私たちの全財産。なくさないようにしっかり持っているのよ。ほら、早く逃げなさい。
Run? To where? Her mouth again pushing itself into a grin, Mom tilted her head absentmindedly.
そうね。とりあえず、駅かな。
She mumbled those words, her eyes staring vacantly up at the ceiling. So I could smell the reek of death wafting from her body. My mother seemed to be gazing into some far-off place. A place outside the world. Swallowed a wad of spit. It felt like a rock in my throat.
大丈夫？ゆうちゃん、一人で行ける？
The question frightened me for reasons I didn't understand. I nodded my head vigorously.
It's fine. I'm not a kid anymore. I can go on my own.
When I spoke those words, my mother's face bloomed into a pure, genuine smile.
そっか。だったら、一人で頑張って。ほら、もう行きなさい。
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. It was an innocent expression. 10-year-old girl's smile. Another jolt of instinctive fear ran through me. Burst out the door and took off toward the station. I ran, trying to escape my own terror. It followed. I could almost hear its footsteps tapping steadily behind me. I ran desperately, gulping down air, the world a blur until finally I was in front of the station. After catching my breath, I sat down on a bench to wait for my mother. Reaching up to the drawstring bag around my neck, I squeezed it tightly in my hand. A powerful wave of anxiety pressed down on my chest. What are we going to do now? It's fine. We'll figure something out. I wasn't really convinced of that. I forced myself to think it'll all work out somehow was the only way I could keep the fear from crushing me under its weight. I sat there completely alone, listening to the shrill cries of the insects. By the time I looked up at the clock mounted on the side of the station building, it was already past 7. The air was starting to grow uncomfortably cold. Just as I was beginning to regret not taking my jacket, an ambulance screamed by on the road in front of the station. The startling wail of the siren instantly fanned the flames of my anxiety. Dad must be dead. It wouldn't be surprising. For all, I hit him as hard as I could. I was trying to kill him. I'd murdered my own father. And then I'd run away and left my mother behind, all by herself. What good am I if I can't protect Mom at a time like this? Why was I even born? Throwing myself up off the bench, I set out at a sprint back toward our house. Hold on, Mom, I'm coming. My mother was a weak person. When Kazuki was alive, she'd been indifferent to me. But I wouldn't exist without her. She gave birth to me. She took me with her when she ran. I owed her everything. If I ran away now, I regret it for the rest of my life. Much, much more than having killed my own father. Rushed down the familiar streets that led to our house, wanting nothing more than to see my mother again. Just like that day, when I sprinted all the way to the canning factory to meet her after work. I ran. There was an ambulance sitting in front of our house. Many onlookers had gathered around it. Voices forced their way into my ears. Stabbed him with a kitchen knife. Apparently it was a murder-suicide. I heard they found a note. Renting a house just to kill yourself in it. Honestly, a nuisance right to the very end. With every whisper, my heart throbbed painfully in my chest. As I elbowed my way through the crowd, some of the people from the neighborhood noticed me and raised their voices in alarm. Ignoring their completely superficial words of concern, I made my way to the front door. A man in an EMT vest stopped me. As I struggled to get past him, 2 other paramedics made their way outside, carrying a stretcher covered in a white sheet. A man's arm was hanging limply out the side. A cheap gold watch glinted dully on his wrist. Dad really is dead. I killed him. I murdered someone. I murdered my father. I killed him with my own hands. For an instant, the world went dark before my eyes. Dad's corpse was being hauled out of our house like a pile of junk. He died a miserable, undignified death. was a shock, but at the same time, I felt strangely calm. I was watching strangers carrying my father's body away. And yet I felt neither sadness nor pity. It was exactly what he deserved. Now we'd finally be safe. Those were the only thoughts that came to mind. The reality of his death hadn't really sunk in. My emotions were spinning around so violently that the centrifugal forces had carried off all the empathy, leaving a cold vacuum behind. The faint sound of creaking wood slipped through my ears and echoed in the emptiness of my mind. What's that noise? Oh no! I mean, yeah, we knew she hung herself, but still. Oh no! You're gonna show it to me, aren't you, game? Son of a bitch. Next thing I saw as I stood stock still in the doorway was my mother, hanging from a beam in the ceiling. Even dangling from a rope with her back turned to me, I recognized her instantly. She looked just as she had when I bolted out of the house. The paramedic had his arm around my shoulders, trying to drag me out of there, but my eyes were fixed on my mother's corpse and my feet were rooted to the floor. Another EMT in the room was reaching up to my mother to try and lower her from the ceiling. As he grabbed her leg, my mother's body turned suddenly on the rope. Her wide-open eyes met mine. My legs turned to water. First, I couldn't comprehend what I was seeing. The person who had been my mother was now a thing, an inanimate object. Some part of me probably understood that, but I didn't know how to process it. First thing I felt wasn't grief or pity, simply terror, far stronger than any I'd ever known. Ooh-ah! Kind of thing. I'm sorry, my screams are not, This is how it was going to end. We never should have run away in the first place. If this was what was waiting for me, never should I come back. But I never imagined it could end like this. Not my worst nightmares. When I closed my eyes, I could feel the contents of my head spinning violently in circles. No, it was the world that was spinning. I was frozen in the very center of hell. The earth was rotating around me. The world spun, lurching on its tilted axis. Round and round and round. My sister could keep her balance no matter how the world swayed, but she was gone. True despair is a strange thing. It smothers you so completely that you can't even recognize what you're feeling is despair. Round and round and round and round. My eyes wouldn't stop spinning. It was making me sick. I lost consciousness on the spot.
Oi! 大丈夫か君? しっかりしろ!
The paramedics took me into custody and brought me to the hospital. Later, the policeman who came to question me in my bed told me that my mother had left a message behind. After convincing me to run away, she'd written a note stating, "I murdered my husband, then took her own life." At the very end of that note, she left me her usual apologies. Why did it turn out like this? What did we do to deserve any of this? I'm sorry, Yu-chan. I'm so sorry. Those were my weak-willed mother's final words, written the last moment before fear of reality overwhelmed her fear of death. The policeman told me my parents' death was being considered a murder-suicide, motivated by their overwhelming deaths. The paper in my hand was stained with my parents' blood. I stared down at it, filled with self-loathing at my utter powerlessness, felt something inside me snap and break. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Well, I don't know about you guys, but I'm gonna go hug my plushies or something, cause dang, no, oh man, that's man. I feel like I'm playing like Doki Doki Literature Club all over again, man. Oh man, this just made me feel bad. It's all just making me feel bad. I just feel bad about everything. Even if I knew it was coming, it makes me feel bad. Oh, I don't like this. I don't like feeling like this. I'm going. I'm gonna go to dinner and something. Man, this sucks. Roji sucks. Roji sucks. Anyway, this has been animefanrk2k. Thank you very much for joining me for tonight's Monday Night Livestreams. Hope you join me next week as we continue this uplifting and happy story. But thank you guys very much for joining me and for watching. And yeah, see you guys. Whatever else. Have a very good night. Go get hug something or someone you love. Have a good night, guys, and peace.